How's it going, everyone? Hey, living in a crazy, psychotic world. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Feels like I'm living in a crazy, psychotic world. Listening to the news, driving me mad to see how asleep a lot of people are in this world. It's scary. They have to be lying about the numbers somewhere because along the way, not understanding too much of their mentality and what's going on. Same broken chair problem. I try to endure that. Make a little bit of action. Mixed Mayhem is in the house. How's it going, brother? My son saw Danny C. Long time, man. Donnie C. Yes, long time. Man, nice to see you. I hope everything's okay. That happens here a lot, like all the channels. You get a lot of people that disappear for a while. People come back. So many different things happening to everybody. Double Star in the house. Thanks for being members, you guys. Motley MS Sport. Thanks again for coming back, you guys. There's been a lot of military jets flying around my area the last couple of weeks. Same here in my end on the outskirts of Montreal. I'm really excited. Hi, Tina. Hi. I'm excited about what my son saw yesterday. He's at work right now. Probably doesn't know that I'm going to be speaking about him, but his ears are going to be buzzing because he was smart. And he called me and said that he thought, after doing research of what he saw, and I'll get into it, that it could have been Starlink satellites. We're not going to hide that they launch satellites. And when they launch satellites, we can see them, so to say, and for certain periods of time. What people don't know is that, well, you guys, most of you know it, but lots of people don't know that satellites rise in orbit. When they launch these satellites, they rise in orbit. So March 2nd, there was supposed to be a launch. So my son assumed maybe he saw satellites. They were moving really fast and faster than planes. And then we got into details and I explained to him, like you all know, satellites don't go as fast as planes. A plane in the sky, you'll see it crossing the sky, right? And you're not going to see it zip by a satellite where you're not going to see it end. Obviously, it doesn't stick around in the sky for a long time because the mirrors, the goal of what they do when it gets probably about getting over Quebec, they turn the mirrors away from Earth. Mr. Steve Towers in the house. I'll be catching up on Patreon videos, my friends. I've not forgotten you, even though there's no sky here outside. Ridiculous. Another snowstorm on the way tonight and tomorrow. Early matinee. That's what we're going to be seeing. So my son saw Norma C. Hello, so glad to spend another live with you. I don't know if you heard the last stream. I've been shooting a couple of streams out there. I saw the contribution on my event, and I got your letter, Norma. Thank you very much. Thanks for the awesome contributions and help and support. Thanks for being here. And for a couple of you that are still expecting me to give you a reply for some mail that came in. I got 2 or 3 letters in this week. A family member told me they picked them up. They're safe and sealed at that residence, which I will be going in a couple of days. I'm not going to wait till the end of the month to go down. It's just that usually I only go down the end of the month because I don't get mail that much. I get mail once in a while. Once every 2-3 months, I'll get a letter, which is awesome, by the way. UFOs in the sky, 9 red UFOs. My son saw them side by side. Red lights, not blinking or flashing, but appearing and disappearing. And they were in line, in groups, approximately 9. I kept asking him, how many did you see? Like, are you sure around 9 or 7 or 3? You know, could it be 10? Could it be 15? He says, doesn't think it was 10, but he knows it was more than 8 or 9, probably more than 7 or 8, probably about 9 that he was able to approximately see. Under the clouds on a very cloudy day here at 6:40 p.m. approximately. And the reason why I say approximately, I'm not sure if I was speaking to him at 6:36 or 6:40. So I'm off 3 or 4 minutes. Called me up and started asking about the lights. And I said, listen, there's no SpaceX launch, but he saw and thought that there was on March 2nd. Well, that's because March 2nd, they were supposed to go up and launch. As a matter of fact, it was way back to February 28th. Sorry. SpaceX was supposed to launch and will be launching today in about 32 minutes 51 satellites from the Texas launch pad, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not in Florida, I think it is Texas. Excuse me. So I told him, well, yeah, you can see a satellite train, because he thought maybe like that was it a satellite train that I saw, because SpaceX, it looks similar to the SpaceX. And I said, yeah, that's the problem. They all look similar. UFOs look like satellites when they're going up, aside from the one that have that we're able to document the characteristics. But it's very exciting, especially the quantity that he saw doubling up. So that means 2, 2, 2 in buddy formation, going across the sky under the clouds at a fast moving rate, headed east northeast. So it was coming from my area, obviously, because everything comes by me here. Tina, how's it going? Celine loves light. Hey, thanks you guys for coming back. No, Bruce, you're right. Spirit said we live in a mad, mad world. Hi, bonjour. Merci beaucoup. On vit d'un monde, un monde de fou. C'est-tu le monde qui est fou? Le monde entier? On est tout timbré? Il y a beaucoup de personnes qui demeurent endormies. People stay in the dark, and it's an incredible, impossible thing that you see that many things going off the rail and that there's no reaction to the people. People react for the dumbest things. You know, you can get a protest in a town because McDonald's changed their parking lot or their business hours. But now, mum's the word, right? Every country working on making tanks and sending shit to Ukraine. By now, Volodymyr Zelensky is probably on his way to the moon or Venus to find out if they can get a few gray aliens to help fund their war, help fight for them, maybe a few mini UFOs and tanks. This guy is about to ask for our picnic tables and barbecues. Timothy, what's up, man? UFOs are up. And so is China, because China is in geostationary orbit, over 20,000 kilometers up in geostationary orbit. What is geostationary orbit? It's where they send the defunct satellites to die into a constellation of dead satellites, where in reality, instead of having them going around Earth, they're in geostationary orbit, means that they're going around with Earth. Hope I'm right on that term. They're going around with Earth as Earth is turning. So if you were to see that satellite and look up in the sky, you wouldn't notice it because it's in geostationary orbit, meaning it's turning with Earth. It would look like a regular star. Bobana, hello to you. Thanks, you guys. JT's here. Thanks again, Norma C. I love you guys so much for the amazing support. Thanks for coming to the streams. It really helps the channel, guys, grow. And those of you that gives a thumbs up, it's more important than you think. YouTube is telling us, all the creators, as some of you know, if you don't get support, if you don't get comments, if you don't get likes or views, there's no interest in your channel, and they're not going to recommend it out to other people for you. So that's why we often see the creators often saying, please click that bell, click the notification bell or whatnot. You know, I try to say it, right? All of my videos have my one fundraiser on it and a couple of links like Patreon and stuff. So if ever you're wondering or looking how you can support the channel, you could just quite simply go to a video and look in the description. All the links are there. So that way there's no forcefulness. It's a free channel. This channel, I do it full time, and I solely live off the ads and the and what people give back. So with that said, when people come here, even watching a video, it helps support the channel very much. Tom Goldie in the house. Bojo from the UK. Thanks, you guys. Lots of storms around in the US and around the world. Everywhere, actually. Watching on the news sounds pretty crazy. Watching on the big screen. Star Hunter, I hope you're feeling better, brother. How's it going, man? Again, Steve Towers. Hiya, Brucey and team. Mr. Towers, love you, bro. And thank you so much for being here. All of you for the incredible support that you've given the channel. Thanks for being a member. My son saw a UFO yesterday. Mon gars, il y avait un 9 ovnis rouges hier à la house. And I was really excited about that. You guys want to hear the song Shout made and all the parts played by Elias, you can go right on that channel there and encourage him on his last video. Give him a thumbs up, because that guy encourages this channel, like all of you. So you all deserve views. We all deserve views. But it's not the case or the situation sometimes. I used to think that the views that people get were because people were making good videos. And it turns out that not only good channels get a lot of views for whatever the reason. Some people are directed to certain channels, and it all comes down to the algorithm, right? Like if you're using the right words, if you're choosing the right keywords, which, by the way, there shouldn't be keywords. You know, in the videos, when you're making a video, it says keywords that you want people, and you write in like UFOs, UFO disclosure, alien disclosure. It has nothing to do with reaching people. It's only for the spelling. So in reality, you can't add any keyword in the video unless you're adding it in the description. You have more of a chance of reaching people, or I mean, well, yeah, reaching people, but having YouTube put you in the algorithm. Karen 18's in the house. Thank you so much. I appreciate the comments and everything, Karen 18. Amy Lynn, nice to see you. Thank you. Nick Bowker in the house. Thank you very much, kind sir. Mr. Peter Benton, another one filming the sun and the moon. And I'm sure a lot of others are also doing. Hi, Bruce. And on my way home, absolutely, we'll be home by the time you read this. I wonder. Are you home yet? You home yet? Jeez, Bruce is coughing today. The Divine Sorcerer in the house. Thank you very much. Another friend, big supporter of the channel, and the Divine Sorcerer does paranormal researching himself and shows everything, doesn't hide anything, and has a unique way of doing so that I appreciate. Check him out. Thank you very much, you guys. Hey, is with his father today. I can't stay too long. No problem. Ben, je vais te dire en partant, ben, bonne journée à toi, Léaus, et à ton papa aussi en même temps. Je vous souhaite un magnifique après-midi à vous deux. J'espère que vous allez bien. Puis merci beaucoup à Léaus d'être ici. Margaret Leach. Hi. Thank you very much, Margaret. I appreciate that. Annie from Norway. Hey, guys from Norway. Thank you so much. Got a couple of people from Norway that come by the channel. Thank you very much, you guys. Appreciate that, Annie. Hello from Montreal. Yes, sir, Elias. We will see you on tonight's stream. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Mr. Steve Towers, sorry, Mr. Towers. That's my son. My son bought it for me and gave it to me for Christmas. Like he had gotten me that glowing alien head, which I always burn the batteries out on it, but I thought it was a nice gesture. And at the same time, we get along really good, my son and I, even though we don't see each other very often, but he got that for me. So you see a sun, you know, and the moon and the stars and stuff. I thought it was really, really cool and very much related to the research that I'm doing. When I get little gifts like that, it's a lot of energy. You know, I'm really so grateful for all the gifts, you guys. If you hear, it's gifts all the time. It's always like Christmas when I come here with you guys. And Leah, right there, I know it's hard to see because of the light that I have here, and that's a wing. It's a beautiful eagle with the wings spread open. It's big enough. It's a couple of probably about 15, 16 inches. I'm not sure exactly how high it is, but she got me that. I have CE5 circle channel. Drew that. That's a sketch drawing. Darla painted that, and another one for me. I have Anika of Thoth, very thoughtful. Sent me some. I mean, I could start naming all the people. I got the Julie that dressed my alien for me and dressed me, sent me a shirt, sent me flags, beautiful flags. At one point, I'm going to have to keep just the wall just for that. The spiritual world, more and more, I'm going through all these different phases of things that are happening at the house that it's very hard to talk about, because obviously everyone can think that when somebody talks about spirits or spirituality, and I'm not going to hide it, there's a lot of fisherman stories out there. A lot of people like to emphasize on the stories, you know, maybe make the stories more interesting. I could be doing it myself with my son's UFOs that he spotted. Oh, was it really 9 or did he just see 2 or 3? So there's a trust issue in that often. So that's why I try to be as honest as I can. The speed of those lights that my son saw confirmed that they weren't. I was able to tell just by what he was telling me. And I taught him that, and he probably knows himself now, that the planes, he knows it himself. When you're looking up at a plane, you got plenty of time to see the planes going by. He told me they did not make noise, which he says, yeah, it's true. That's very surprising. There was absolutely no noise as these objects were going by. So when he looked it up and they said that March 2nd is supposed to be a launch, well, the launch was actually set back. There's 51 satellites that are going to be sent up. If I'm not mistaken, I know it's today, but I think it's 1:38 Eastern time in about 10-20 minutes. That they're supposed to send up again and launch those 51 satellites. You know, how do you think all the dead defunctional satellites that are, or decommissioned satellites that are in geostationary orbit in this constellation, what if at 21,000 kilometers up over Earth, an asteroid goes by and hits, into one of those layers of the atmosphere of Earth around it? What would happen with all those stationary satellites? It would cause a lot of debris, right? If they're talking about a recent debris problem, maybe it's because there's more satellites that are being hit by incoming asteroids. It's almost a pretty certain thing. The DART project, they were able to divert Dimorphos, or Dipophis, I think it's Dimorphos, one of the satellites the satellite that was around an asteroid, larger asteroid. So they were able to divert it. So that means apparently it's going to be a good strategy for the defense system. They're going to try to locate now asteroids that are further out, and they're obviously going to try to divert them and do some tests. That's reassuring, even though they're actually here trying to, depopping or whatever. It's a bit odd to understand that. You can really see that there's two sides, an evil and a good side, fighting. Don't look at it. When there's a war, there's one side's always the elites and the other side's always the good ones. So you got the bad and the good fighting right now. So which is which? People of Ukraine or Russia are not bad people. It's never them that's a problem. They're the ones that are, unfortunately, and us having to endure all of that. It's always the higher ups that are the responsible ones. Come and stay with me in sunny Florida. I don't even have to read the rest of the sentence. I'm on my way, Come and stay with me in sunny Florida and video your heart's content. Tina, thank you very much. My American friends, I have a lot of you guys, even in the UK, even in Norway, that some people say, stop by, come by the my country. And it's totally possible of me going with a tent. If it wouldn't have been for the pandemic, even though it's pretty much over, it's those new laws that came out that sort of, I'm afraid to go to the States now, literally, as a Canadian, pure blood, by the way, also. So makes me even a bit more vulnerable and apparently popular with the women, because women are going to be looking into the purebloods. Been hearing that rumor going around. It's going to be a good thing. I really appreciate you all stopping by. Julie Stats is in the house. Thank you very much. Hello to Gate Smasher. Ooh, rah. If he's around, I'm sure he's close by. If he's not working the swamp. Thank you very much, Julie. Yeah, get your questions in, guys. Hauser, thank you very much. Or Hoser, good evening, Bruce, from a sunny, dry Appin West Highland Islands, Scotland. I always get my weather report from my friend Hauser because, when it's nice and sunny in Scotland, I don't know, maybe it's the end of the world, or that's just maybe a stereotypical error that some people make when people, we say that Canadians are like this, or Irish people are like this, or people in Scottish people are like this. And then you go down to the country and you meet the people and you go, whoa, what are we learning online? A bunch of bullcrap. It's like everybody's set up to make the other countries out to be the worst types of people on earth. And you go and visit a country and you say, holy crap, everyone's pretty much like me, Thanks again. Charlene Williams, how's it going? Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm excited about it. I'm really happy that he called me. And obviously, not going to hide it. I've never told you that my son has called me about that before. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to hide it. My son's not seen a lot of UFOs in his life. Is he looking up in the sky for them? No. And he's working, of course, that's another thing. When I was working on the buses full time, well, it's because I was on the buses and medical bus and all, of course, I had plenty of time to look up at the skies as I was parked on the side of the roads and hospitals, parking lots, and clinics and centers and whatnot. And I saw a lot of UFO activity. But, my son's living right in that path along with me. He's about 12, 15 minutes away. He's able also to see UFOs going by. And it's very interesting that they went by under the clouds, like the ones I got here not so long ago at the end of 2022, weeks ago. They were under the clouds, right? Planes don't do that, come down under the clouds. And I mean low, I mean at the height of, you're not going to see a Boeing skim your roof here, right? You're not going to see them at 5,000 feet. You're not going to see them at 10,000 feet unless they're on the verge, like 3 minutes away from landing, right? So that's why the closer you get to Montreal, the lower they are in the sky. But it's an amazing thing because the interesting thing is that due to bad weather, they were not able to launch. So who launched those lights? There was no launch, all right? And the launch is going to be today. So they are definitely UFOs. Hello to you, Scott. Thanks, man. Thanks, you guys, for being here. Thank you so much, Julie. Gabber Beast in the house. Good day, Bruce. How are you, mate? Hope you are well. Greetings from down underground. Yes, our friend Gabber Beast is in Australia, just underneath me. He's under me. We're stepping on each other, foot to foot. UFOs ground. A few UFOs in Aussie I captured yesterday morning. Checked a SAT application, of course, and if you guys are not doing so, you can do so. In other words, like he's saying today, and they are not SAT. So you get the confirmation. You can go very easily see how many satellites are at this very moment going over your head. And if you see something in the sky, well, you're able to confirm that it's not military or could be military, but they're UFOs. And you guys can check out Gabber Beast TV also. Thanks a lot, man. I have an interview I had with Gabber Beast TV here on the channel. So you put that up in the title, Gabber Beast TV, here in the videos. You'll be able to locate that, that video. Thanks a lot for being here, man. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you, Mix Ma'am. And join us, Fridays, 1 o'clock, like we're doing right now, and at 8 p.m. tonight. And I like the fact that she says 8 or 9 on Mondays, because you never know. If you get up at Monday morning and you see that I'm not on, hang around for an hour and I should be on after that. At the same time, Julie permits me an hour to get ready. But in general, we're on at 8. So far, I've been pretty good. And 5 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays, and it's all live. Thank you so much, Julie. Thanks for the caring, my friends. Is Julie feeling under the weather? Julie, I hope you're feeling okay. A lot of people, I guess, feel under the weather. And that's the time marks, you guys. Mark it down. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays that we stream. Try to meet new people. I've been doing a couple of extra streams. Terry Turbo Burrows, thank you very much. A very beautiful UK yet again. Whoop. Am I lagging here? Am I lagging? Something's happening. Gabber B says satellites look at least 5 times smaller than the UFOs. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you say at least 5 times smaller, because there's different variations. I've seen some UFOs go by that look really, really small, but in general, it's further away. Even when I see that, I even myself will say it could be satellite, or because UFOs usually show themselves a lot more. They have different characteristics too. We can see different sized lights, and they flash. And one point, Gabber got 5 or 4 or 5 on the screen. I think it was 5, and all going face to face, almost missing each other. It's not satellites. you know they're not satellites. It's not for nothing. There's no satellite videos out there where people say, hey, look at satellites, except when they are just launched, because then you can get a chance of seeing the satellite UFO. Satellite train, as they say. I have videos here of the train, caught it in 2 different occasions, one of 61 satellites, one of 120 satellites. So there's the other thing, like I explained to my son. How many were in line? I saw 9 of them. Okay, and they were buddied up. So 2, 2, 2, 2, maybe 10 or whatever. Maybe there were 8, whatever. They were buddied up. So a satellite train, you'd see a lot more than that. Some of them go up at the end and start going up. So one of 120, when I saw them here, I counted them, and I counted about 105 or something like that I could see in the line, and they're always going up more and more in altitude. So UFOs have been capturing, satellites look at least 5 times smaller than the UFOs I have been capturing, depending on, and he said it before me, depending on how close the UFO is to me height-wise. Exactly. So if it's like really far away from you, yeah, it's going to be small. It's probably going to be small, but in general, and I can vouch for it, they are closer. They come down a lot closer. Sometimes the UFOs are 10 to 15 times larger. Absolutely. Where you see the big light like that in the sky lights up, and usually you just see a hairnail of a light. Well, there's a big difference. Absolutely. Eva, thank you very much. Wow, from Jordan, thank you very much for coming here. Hello to the people of Jordan and your family, if you guys are watching. I've had a lot of UFO sightings here in Africa. Dennis, welcome, Africa. Wow, thank you very much. Thanks for letting me know that. That's awesome. They're everywhere for sure. Easy Brews, bruv, and y'all. Hope you're getting better. And I'm up for coming live on your show tonight. How we go about it? Very easy. When I come on at 8:00, anytime you want to come on, let me know, and I will share the link right here in the feed. You can click on it and you come on. You don't have to show your face. You can if you want to. All you need is the microphone with the audio. We do an audio check. Quite simple, man. Nothing you got to do. Feel like it's a fun thing, and we'll talk about anything that we want to talk about. And at the same time, you're going to keep us posted, give us a little heads up on maybe that invention that you're working on, or if you just want to talk about the UFO. So tonight at 8:00, you can come on anytime. It can be at the beginning. It can be in the middle, an hour later, whenever you're ready to come on. It's totally easy here. No stress. And I'll be expecting at 8:00 for you to come on. The minute I see you, say hello. I'll slap that link up there, my man. And you come on. It's all good. We'll do the audio test and everything. Looking forward to talking to you. The average satellite is like the size of the smallest star in the sky I see from my observations. Yeah. When I see it, and if it is a satellite, yes, because with the satellite trains, exactly. And even I've seen it, for me, maybe at that time where, and the height that I saw it, like he said, depending on the height, I've seen them even smaller before, but in general, it's exactly what you just said. Yeah. Crazy music. Space Jam is here. Thumbs up, people. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. Hey, t'as rentré ça dans ma tête. You got that head. You got that song in my head. Boy, I tell you, I love that song. Some songs remain classics, eh? Vinny, you guys can check out Crazy Music Space Jam. It's Elias Valhatla's channel, and he's got his music set up there, so you can check that out on his channel. Those of you interested in music. Vinny, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you back, man. I hope you're having a good Friday, too. Thank you very much. Dar S is here. Thank you very much. Terry from Liverpool, UK, where all the good musicians come from. Thank you very much. Liverpool. You still get tourists down there and people going around Abbey Road and taking pictures, bare feet, crossing with the cigarette. That'd be a nice shot. I'd have to get that. Go down Abbey Road, get a picture of me with my gut. cigarette in my hand, bare feet crossing the road. No, just thinking of the image. Philip, Kara, thank you very much from Iowa. You love your channel, love my channel. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that, Philip. Thank you very much, you guys. Maybe you have Spanish friends or you speak Spanish and you'd like to share some of the research with some of your Spanish friends, but they don't understand English at all. The Spanish channel is right there. That's the link. I have a Spanish channel. I'm approaching 1,000. And of course, I've been spending more time working on this channel and the French channel. But those of you here in French, je vais avoir une vidéo pour mes amis français. Surtout que je finis ici. I talked about something on the last video here, and I want to get that up absolutely also on the French channel to make people understand, which, by the way, we can talk about that here too, showing spacecraft in the lunar atmosphere with smokes coming out of their asses. Nothing anybody's going to be able to say or prove that it's not real, because the beautiful part is that the only reason why I went in such zoom up for those spacecraft that looked like square pixels or tic tacs, literally, it's like little sized shaped object. People were saying they were pixelation. And when I zoomed up, well, I was very happy to be able to see and prove visually that pixels don't catch on fire. And we can see the smoke emanating from these objects. So that's something pretty incredible. For me, it remains incredible anyways. Disclosure already happened for me. I don't have to wait for any government or Jeremy Corbell, all film producers, I tell you. No sky here in the UK, white out, grim. Same. We got the sun through the clouds. I saw the moon through the clouds yesterday for the first time in weeks, even months. And the bugger was straight up over my head, but I couldn't catch it because of the clouds, but that's only a matter of time. The weather is changing. Looking forward to a warm spring. Big storm coming to southern Ontario. Yes. Strange for this time of the year for this area. Absolutely, Dares. You're right about that. And it's true. You know, that polar vortex and then southern Quebec, we're going to be hit. And it's southern Ontario and southern Quebec. We're going to be hit pretty hard. And that, my friend, is the weather system that formed over Texas that is coming down to us. A lot of people don't know that, but the weather systems continue down into Quebec and Ontario. Daras, I heard the Ontario Party talking today about digital IDs, and I was very happy and very blown away. I'm not allowed talking about it here, but good news for those that are not too into the digital IDs. There's a refusal coming from Ontario's side. They're ready to stand up for Canadians, and I think that's absolutely amazing. The vortex, Dares, we have the polar vortex that's always been in the North Pole. When we look at our news and we see that big blue scary cloud that's always fizzing around, mutating around the North Pole, that came down to us here in Canada, Ontario, too, everywhere, the States, and the cold weather came down. But the turmoil and the hurricane season and stuff in the States was what's going on. It's drastic. Have you all seen the snow that fell in the mountains of Saint Bernardino? I didn't say that right, eh? Is it Bear Lake also? A bit further as you're going by. I've never seen that much snow, and it was over the houses like I've never even seen here. I noticed the lakes were frozen. That was like literally frozen. It's never happened here in my life in Canada where it was summer and that we got snow and the lakes froze. Never happens. Never happened. It never happens. But in California, it did. San Andreas Fault could be very close now. This is real. It's inevitable to causing a major earthquake. And if people are careful, everyone's going to get through it. Our houses and stuff are going to take a beating. Crazy things are happening with insurance companies. I get it. The system's falling around us, but we can still remain safe. But I would open your eyes a lot. It's 1809 in the UK. Just made a YouTube channel today. Awesome. Not a clue how to work it. You can ask me about anything, man. I don't know either how to work mine. Never done anything like this before. That'd be awesome, man. Any heads up or tricks or things that you need? You got the whole community here, and you can ask me about it. Is it 7? Is it 7 o'clock at night, in the UK? Holy crap, man. So that means you're going to be stuck coming on at 1 a.m. or something on tonight's stream, man. I hope that's not too late for you. I'm sorry. I had not thought about that in the UK, the difference in time. Just got in. Yes, he's in the house. Roger Reed's here. Thanks, man. And I'll see you there, Joe. Hey, man. I love you, Steve Towers. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. I really want to thank you guys. Well, all of you here too, but the people on Patreon and stuff that help the channel grow. And it's the only way I was able to stay here doing it full time. And it's beyond my appreciation. I can't even explain how I consider myself very lucky to have you all here. And thanks again, you guys. Crazy Dave in the house. Awesome moderators and community. Hello, Bruce. Thank you very much. Conan, the Tartarian, is in the house. Thank you very much. I'm home. Celiaos. Dini Vergas. Hello. Thank you very much. Thanks, you guys. Any new faces coming in, new people coming in, I thank you very much. How's my friend Marcelo doing? Buenos Aires. Muchas gracias, amigo. I asked you, which telescope do you recommend to start observing? A 14-inch. I recommend a 14-inch, something that can connect to the PC. Thank you. Yeah, most of them connect to the PCs with the programs, obviously. And it depends, on how close you want to get on where you want to align yourself, whether it be on the moon, whether it be watching stars and galaxies. I'll tell you what, a 6-inch to an 8-inch telescope, you'll still be into between the 1,000 and 2,000 mark, maybe even a little bit more than that. If you want a camera too at the same time with that. But you can have a telescope that's 70 millimeters and you could still view the moon. You're a lot further than, a 14-inch telescope. But as for the size, my 5-inch scope is a telescope I really had a lot of good times with, and I was able to see some stuff on the moon. So 6 inches, and then Marcelo, it depends on the model. You'll pay less expensive for a model that's not like Celestron, and if you go Meade, for example, but it's not the same quality. I'm not saying that those telescopes are not good scopes, but the more you pay for a telescope, the better the quality of your telescope is. My Celestron's guaranteed for life, I think, actually. And I'd say a 6-inch, but then it depends which company, like I say, you want to go in with. You can go in with a company. You absolutely need a mount for sure, a tripod. If not, it's just continually moving by yourself, unlocking the clamp, then moving the telescope to realign yourself. Because don't forget, when you're looking through a telescope, the moon goes by your camera every 1 minute and 20 seconds for me on the 14-inch. If you have a 5-inch scope, the moon's going to stay for about 2 minutes in your screen. Me just whizzing by. But which telescope to start observing? Not sure of the model, like I said, Marcelo, but I'm sure of the size. If you're able to get a 5 or 6-inch scope, 4-inch is still good there. It depends on what you really want to do. But I'd have to do some research and try to maybe get some good information for that, because I don't know what their scope is. But if you're sure that you think that you're pretty much going to enjoy doing the research, you're going to regret buying a scope smaller than having bought one bigger. But a starting scope, it can still be expensive, but get you into the $2,000 range with the camera. You can start off with a solar imager. The solar imager, I mean, you're talking 5 megapixels. You're going to get 5 megapixels worth of what you're seeing once you upgrade. Like some people start off like Christopher Rollins, he has a 14-inch Meade. He started off with the scope before building on it to get a better camera. And once he does, if he hasn't already, you're going to see a lot of difference. I'll have to check that out for you, Marcelo, though. If you have any more questions, would have loved to have been able to guide you which company. I'm not going to say Celestron's the best. It's one of the most well-known, renowned telescope makers, but you might pay a little bit more for the Celestron, but you get a bit more of quality, is what I say, is what they all say. Karen Fitzpatrick, thank you very much. Easy peasy. Exactly. I love the easy peasy part. If life was easy peasy, we'd all be, it'd be fun. That is my French channel. Tomorrow, Saturday, if you haven't seen my French channel yet, come and subscribe to it. Avenue Quebec Astronomy. It's in the channel here on Bruce Sees All. You click on channels and you will see the channels that I shared. At the same time, if ever I disappear from here, which is very highly likely, better connect with me if you guys like the channel. It takes 2 seconds to subscribe to the French channel. You don't have to click on notifications. That way you won't be bothered. Will is here. Thank you very much. Morning sunshine from communist Snow, Mexico. Honk, honk. Honk, honk, Mexico. I've been having some fun in the community, holding back because people get so offended. I have a lot of people from Mexico that come here. Mi amigos de Mexico, and I love it. I think it's awesome. All the crap that's going on in the country. So you guys had an earthquake also, 5.3, if I'm not mistaken, very recently. So I went and wrote in the community. I said there was a 5.3 earthquake in Mexico, but luckily everyone was in the U.S. Obviously for a little joke at the border wall, but I don't think everybody appreciated it. Sorry, I was just being funny. Susan Jane, hey, thank you very much. Cool, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe come to my channel for some sunshine. Pick you up. Come on over. We have turtles, not just turtles, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Beautiful birds. 2 beautiful people, a sexy couple, side of the beach. I love Julie's channel. Julie Stats, do check out her channel. She supports this channel in many ways, and it's totally awesome. You too, Tina. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, I was wondering. The cows on the moon now? Stealth bomber the other night, it was massive. Wow. Those are things, they don't take them out for nothing, Roger, eh? They don't take them out for little drives around town, so. McSmam says, Mr. MBB333 has videos of several lights seen in the skies this week. Thank you very much, McSmam. You guys can check out Mr. MBB333's channel. Hans Valentine, thank you very much. Hey, Bruce, all you people around the world, love and light. Greetings from Denmark. Thanks, guys. Denmark in the house. Thank you very much. Hey, Bibit, good afternoon. Hey, Bibit, wow. I used to know. I connaissais un Bibit. I used to know that. A guy named that, his nickname was Bibit. Anyway, thank you for being here. Canada dans la maison. Thank you. Marie-Donne. Bruce, j'espère que tu vas bien. Gros bisous. Ça va bien parce que vous êtes ici. C'est pour ça que ça va toujours bien. Marie-Donne, merci beaucoup. En te souhaitant une magnifique après-midi. All the ladies here say, give me your blood. I'm here for you, ladies. The sea lock did start September 10-4. We got the best from the east. Snow on its way in the UK. It's a coming. There's snow everywhere now. It's getting a little crazy. You guys can check out the stream tonight. I'll be talking about a lot of things, but at the same time, Joel Burrs will come on to talk with us about a whole bunch of interesting things. Eyes wide open. Sorry for that. Thank you, 3045. Thanks for being here, guys. Beth Noyce, how's it going? Hi, everyone listening as I get ready for work. Love you. Love you even more. Thank you very much, Beth, for stopping by. Bye-bye, Bibit. Interview was fun. I was glad to help you out with your stream and meet your warm community. I thank you very much, brother. My Chinese fans loved the interview when I translated it for them. Oh, that is awesome. If you have people in China, you have a community in China, that's really awesome. Always fun reaching other people, man, out there that don't know about stuff going on. Yeah, made a live show. Hello, Bruce. Much love. Thank you very much. Delay in the house. Carol West is here in the house. So 8 p.m. your time is p.m. Pacific time. No, I have to think what time I set my alarm for you. Yes, it's Eastern time here. Eastern time. So tonight at 8 Eastern time, which is in 6 hours. I'll be streaming tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And of course, with the changing of time, which we're going to be changing it again very recently, yet again, some of you will be mystified as to why Bruce is either an hour late or an hour early because of the change in times. Monday stream was another great hit. Yeah, thanks, Mix Mame. I appreciate that. It was a good stream. Much appreciate all your hard work, video streams, etc. Can't thank you enough, man. Last night I saw a star or something beside the moon to the lower left. What do you think it may have been? Oh, I'll tell you, it's Jupiter and Venus were seen beside the moon. They were seen together in the sky also. And the conjunction where they were almost kissing in the sky a couple of days ago. Pretty sure it's Jupiter and Venus. Could be wrong, though. I haven't checked in a little while with the sky. What's up in the sky? 105 watching, now 120 watching. We are locked at 120 as always. So that means everything is normal. Have you noticed any difference in the new realm compared to many eons ago? Gates says he feels it's new energy Sunday. I'm a call, you watch. Yes, I will. Matt Street, how's it going? In the house. Thank you very much, you guys. My experience from what I've seen over the Atlantic is there's always more than one. The orange one shows up, the boss, right? Then smaller white ones appear, scouts. See, that's the interesting thing because around the world, there's different characteristics that are being documented of what people are seeing. Now, I've seen this a lot where there's a large light, and from that, I've even filmed lights, what looked like they're literally being shot out of the bigger UFOs. So, like you say, can they be scout crafts, right? You have the ideal of a mothership and all these smaller crafts that are coming out. It's not the mothership that's going to land and look on the ground to see what's going on. They can have their little scout crafts go out and bring a whole bunch of people up if they want to. Like, for example, emptying Earth of all the people because there's a cataclysmic event coming. How would that change our lives? Temporarily put us on the moon? That would be weird. Definitely weird. And you guys can check me out on Patreon also. Thank you very much, Julie. Adam Truth Finders, Mr. Sparkle Baked is here. Thank you very much. Andy, love your show. Andy, UK, thanks, you guys. This is Major Tom, the ground control. Denis Levaincourt, merci beaucoup, mon frère. Il va y avoir une vidéo en français pour vous tous après-midi aussi en même temps sur la chaîne Avenir Québec Astronomie. Merci d'être ici, mon ami Denis. Sammy M, how's it going? Oh, there's quite a few people here, and there's only 119 now watching. It's quiet, but that's okay. Hello, Janine, bonjour. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hey, Bruce says, oh, we watched the 6-manned rocket go up. Yes, the Crew 6, the Falcon 9 rocket go up. Toe notes 2 nights ago. Damn phones. Every time I'm right, I've been having problems with the audio, the corrections too. Could see from the RV park. Got some very distant video. Should I post it? Freaking right, post it so that everybody can go to your channel and see that. You have to post it on your own channel. That will attract a lot of people. Use the force in the title, like plow it. Oh my God, my first live crew launch or something like that. It's not clickbait. If you really have a video of it, far away or not, doesn't matter. No matter what you see, even if it's a tiny light going up, I would flip out being able to see a launch with the equipment I have and recording it. I would start off with the telescope, and then I'd start really cranking it up to really try to follow it up to see how far I could go. With my telescope, I should be able to follow it all the way up to the moon. But objects don't do that, right? You can't just take off and go to the moon. What did you think of the Crew 6 mission, Julie? And those of you, if you saw it, don't you find it odd that it takes 24 hours for it to reach the space station? 400 kilometers on Earth takes me 4 hours driving at 100 kilometers an hour. This mama's traveling at 54,000 kilometers and takes over a day to be able to reach the ISS space station. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Honestly, do not believe that. Anika, wow. Thank you so much, Anika. I appreciate that. Massive, and she disappeared. Oh, why did that happen? Alaska Skywatcher, got William Shuttles here. Didn't want to go up too far. Thanks, brother. Chris is here. Eve's on the moon setting up at Tim Hortons for your arrival, Bruce. Thank you very much, Chris. Dazard, hi, Bruce. Are you live now? Yes, sir. And if so, I'm overjoyed to say hi. Love your channel from Das, Queensland, Australia. Thank you very much. Another friend from Australia. Thanks, you guys. Now, let me scroll all the way down here to see what is happening, why things are disappearing. Oh, we must have some trolls here today. Crimson Drums. I'm scrolling down. Brenda DeBowie here in Ontario. Not looking forward for a snowstorm here to come. It's coming. 24-hour clock is 18:09 hours and 6:09 p.m. Just sharing some information. Brenda, love you for it. Always greatly appreciated the information shared here. I assure you. Bruce, you'd be funny. Let those that don't get it go to. Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Norma, for understanding my flaky brain. Morton, hey, Anika, child of Thoth, I will get to your message. How come it disappeared? Kind of new here. May I ask why there's a possibility for your channel to disappear? The government? Sorry for the English spelling, by the way. Your English spelling is perfect, Morton, hey, DK. Yeah, because of the suppression of what we're not allowed to talk about, the government here in Canada, they passed the C11 bill. They passed the C9, I think it's C11 and C19 bill. Reminds me of the COVID-19. But anyways, stopping people from having the rights to reach information about war or about space and to be able to post about it also. So unfortunately, that's what happened. There's Anika there. Thank you very much, Anika. Massive farmers protest in Brussels now, and big demonstrations against NATO and the European Union. Absolutely. The people are rising. Anika, thank you. I love you for it, for sharing that information. And that is good news because we're seeing that more and more around the world that people are standing up. They're hiding all the protests around the world. You got the UK, you got France. There's been protests in all of our countries, and some are even still going on to this day. Margaret Leach says, I'm curious, the UFO that flew over your house, what direction was it going? So if you're talking about the one with my son, it was headed east northeast, and it was from my region where I am 15 minutes away from my son, that was moving in fast moving, flew across the sky with no sound whatsoever, below the clouds in buddy formations. And that is exciting. That was March 2nd. So I immediately started looking online. Thanks again, Anika. I immediately started looking online to find out exactly if and when there's going to be a launch. We know there's lots of launches, and they can also be seen several days after. But there's a certain way that we can see them, and we can know and we can tell whether it's satellites or not. The red UFOs, never seen any red satellites, I'll tell you that. And they were all red lights that were appearing and even disappearing. They were in formations lined up in buddy formations, 2 2 2 2 2. Like my son said, it's based on the research that he did. He was seeing that satellites trains do that. Yes, they do, but now he's learning the characteristics of the speed, how to notice certain things, and maybe, who knows, maybe in a couple of months my son's going to want to get himself an infrared camera and become a ufologist. Maybe see what's in the sky. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I have a Danish friend who use hours every day ongoing through pictures and recordings of the moon's surface. He has found 3 very interesting things that definitely is not made by nature. Thank you, Morton. Hey. Morton Her. I learned that. I learned that the O with the line through it as a I'm so proud of myself for learning that. I could be wrong. Thundermine, thanks for asking. And again, I'm jumping around here. So for those of you that comment, even if you're new here and I skipped over you, it's not deliberate. Yeah, I asked him that, and he said it himself, wasn't able to see the shapes and forms, just a glittering red light, billowing lights that are going by, appearing and disappearing. I don't think they were, well, yes, they were obviously growing in size and getting smaller, and they went by fast. He didn't see them for a long time either. And that's what's intriguing me, because they just launched the SpaceX, or maybe not. Like I'm saying, they just launched. Maybe they even set it back. They've been setting it back due to weather problems about the 51 satellites that they're supposed to launch. They have a lot of hype now. New satellites are going up. I can assure you those satellites will be infrared viewing and documenting and trying to locate ballistic missiles and dangers coming from adversarial and foreign countries. They're talking about on the news, they're getting up these ballistic satellite detectors. They're going to be able to detect ballistic missiles as the tension and turmoil grows with the war. Thanks again, Margaret. Yes, Morton, I do too. I think that it's a very bad thing. The problem with NATO is that they're forcing countries to be under their rule. It's NATO that's making the decisions for the countries as what to do to come in and what not. And NATO has a lot of power that they should not have. And this is the big problem right now, is that there's several people that are in charge of NATO and whatnot. These are not good people, forcing people to come into their association, right? And it's forcing them, and they're paying into it. So this is how they fund their wars. So NATO has absolute funding from several countries, and that's why we're seeing all this bullshit from these military tanks coming in from everywhere. I mean, I don't know about you guys around the world, but if there's a war here in Canada, you guys going to want to send all your tax money and maybe all your military equipment so that you pay more expensive at your grocery store for food and stuff. It's getting ridiculous. So the story back in the day was that Ukraine, they wanted it to join NATO. Now that they joined, well, we got Volodymyr Zelensky that's actually telling people that they're going to have to send their daughters and sons, the Americans, because it's part of them. It's all NATO related. It's all the same shit. Thank you very much, Judith from Ontario, Canada, in the house. Got some, quite a few Ontarians here today. Thank you very much. Hey, thanks for joining the live show. Southern Oregon here. Shiny future, the large red one can shrink to the small white ones. Seen it myself, very close up. Shiny future for US, I have seen, or for us, both good. I've seen that too. I've absolutely seen them. And yeah, if you do the research and you research into the intensity and temperatures of different colored flames, the red flame, the blue flame, the yellow flame, and I've seen exactly what you said, to go from the red to orange, bright orange, and then yellow as the different intensities of the UFOs propulsion system or whatnot. I have no idea. Scrolling right along, moving right along. Rodeo song. There's another good one. Ah, Marie-Donne, j'ai quelqu'un de ma famille qui a ramassé, le 3 jours, de la malle, puis il m'a dit qu'il y avait un paquet dans la malle. Je ne sais pas c'est quoi, parce que le membre de famille qui l'a ramassé pour moi vont pas l'ouvrir. Je veux le voir moi-même quand je vais le chercher. Je vais habituellement à la fin du mois, vu qu'il y a quelque chose que tu as envoyé, je vais prendre le temps dans une couple de jours, maximum 2-3 jours. Je vais aller dans l'autre ville pour voir, pour confirmer que j'ai reçu ce paquet, Marie-Donne. Puis je te remercie pour la patience, ta patience, hein? Depuis le temps, des fois, ça prend du temps pour l'avoir. Puis je vais pouvoir te le confirmer dans une couple de jours. Mais oui, bel et bien, j'ai reçu un paquet. Que quelqu'un me dit, un de mes membres de famille qui a dit, Bruce, tu as reçu un paquet, viens le chercher, viens l'ouvrir pour voir c'est quoi. Absolument. Puis je vais pouvoir te le confirmer, Marie-Donne. Thanks for asking. Merci, Marie-Donne. Hey, Morton, thanks again, for coming by. And we're open to discussions and debates. If you disagree with certain things that I say, certain things that what people disagree in the community, it's all good. We're all here for debate, and you could let your let the community know what you think. I mean, not everybody agrees with my theories here either, and that's what makes it just an more interesting place. Serbia, Jordan 73, thank you very much. Serbia in the house. Love you guys in Serbia. Thank you. It is a beyond interesting subject. I loved it. You can be sure of that. And I believe in it. This is quantum jumping. It's something that for me, I believe that we're sort of all traveling through space and time, and we're differently being changed every single time we come back, jumping, continually jumping. Maybe the whole bloody universe is jumping in and out, but it remains a very interesting subject. That's for sure. Big hi from Cruiseman. Hey, thank you very much. Awesome work. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, you guys. Margaret, thank you very much. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with what you said. NATO should have been dissolved after World War II. You see, all these associations, agencies, and whatnot were made to protect us, so we thought. Right at the beginning, the government was formed the beginning of time, like 1776, 1864, whenever 67, whenever the founding of all these of our countries, when that happened, the governments were formed to be the word. Politics was formed. They were all supposed to be the word of the people. Then politicians and the governments are turning around saying, well, if you don't agree with us, like the authoritarian regime, very dishonorable Justin, who cares, here trying to run the country, they turned on us. They're illegally doing things to us that is not even legal inside of the government without having changed any laws. That's ridiculous. It's scary and ridiculous. Beth Noyce, thank you so much. Thanks, you guys, for the generous contributions. I sent your recent videos to my friends. and family that are finally open to seeing truth. That's amazing. That's amazing. We really appreciate your solid evidence. Love you, Beth. I love you even more, and thank you so much for having done that, for helping me spread the research out to more people. For me, it's heart clenching the fact that most of us and our parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, and maybe even you, a younger person, is investing a lot of money into religion, and you just necessarily believing everything that's written in a book or what people are saying. Like me here, I have my own opinions, but you're allowed your own opinions. You're allowed questioning God. You're allowed questioning truth and reality. Speak to God. Ask him or it or her to help you, right? I don't get insulted when somebody has a different perception of their God. I think it's healthy that people are trying to find God, maybe by trying to analyze with their minds, their human minds, right? When they're not being manipulated or controlled through 5G or some type of MK Ultra mind control program, which is all very real. The problem is that most of what's real in the world right now still passes off for being science fiction, to being absolutely science fiction, like movie like events that are going on, because people, and I don't blame them, are very trusting with the media. It just goes to show how, you know, nice people the humans are. I could say naive. Yes, we are very naive. As much me for certain things, we're always trying to learn. I'm no genius, but once you're awake and you see the difference from the script and the reality, it's easy. You'll see it every time there's something on the news. You'll know it's bullshit, and you'll know that it's, And Joba 9, thanks for sharing. Whoa. Woohoo. Wake up, everyone. Too bad the U.S. doesn't protest, but we're about to lose. So 80 and sovereignty. Well, I'll tell you what, the U.S., they want to protest, and they are protesting and did. But unfortunately, on January 6th, they were labeled as domestic terrorists. And anybody that was at the Capitol on January 6th, it's coming out in the news now that they're talking about the government, the FBI or CIA, that could have had a part in insisting for the event to occur, but we're not allowed talking about certain subjects. So we have to be very careful being here on YouTube. Sorry to say so, but that's a crazy Canadian law. It really is. Don't be sorry. You're right about that, Morton. The laws here in Canada and like a lot of other countries, it is definitely crazy. We have assisted suicide now, where they're convincing people that are too poor to take their lives and to leave this world so that the other people can live better. Literally, what they're doing, they're pushing all this on us. I heard a child this morning, 13 years old, I think, 12 years old, read a part out of a porn book, but it wasn't a porn book. It's a book that's in his library at his school that the librarian put it in the front so people could be able to look at it. They talk about Fucking. They talk about Sucking. They talk about genders. They talk about a whole bunch of things. This is a kid who has problems. A little kid has problems pronouncing his words. Still probably even sucks his thumb. Okay. Which is the only thing he should be sucking, right? And people are like, oh, we can't talk about that. Some people won't even share it on their, social media because it's such a controversial subject. It's craziness. So this kid starts reading from the book, literal porn book, talking about blowjobs and everything. It was horrendous. It was horrendous. And that's a book that's in the school. So they're affecting everyone there. I mean, people have to wake up. People have to wake up. And then when they started waking up, well, now they're telling people, if you wake up, if you protest, if you disagree in the States and even here in Canada, you disagree with Trudeau, well, you are a terrorist. And worse than that, the new thing now is that anyone that disagrees with what's going on with the pandemic and everything here in Canada is a racist or fascist. So sorry to say, guys, but the word racist and racism doesn't exist anymore. They're literally breaking the term up. Like, it doesn't make any sense anymore. Becoming too much of a common word. It doesn't make sense anymore. Lee, how's it going? Tornado warning here in Indiana. Fait que Marie-Donne, dans une couple de jours, je vais te confirmer, je vais aller à l'endroit où un membre de famille a pogné le paquet, puis je vais te confirmer que je l'ai reçu, puis je te remercie beaucoup pour ta patience. Thanks again, Anika, for being here. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up for your rights. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. That's what everybody should be doing. Yep, safety in numbers. One, we are stronger as one than we are as none. That was usually cool to see the footage of the UFO over your house. Seeing the UFO popping out, another one was rare to see. Awesome work. Thank you very much, Tristan. I appreciate that so much. And I'm sorry, Margaret, if that's what you meant before with the one going over the house. I assumed we were talking about the ones that my son had seen. But yeah, I mean, yes, it's the truth. UFOs are in the sky. They come over my house. It's not satellites. They interact, meaning that they slow down and they come down lower in the sky. There is a worry about these UFOs since we actually don't know what they are. I may feel that they're spiritual, but a lot of you, and even me, feel that as a theory anyways, it can be the government. It can be an adversarial or a foreign country like China, like Russia, that is whizzing around the earth and spying on us all. But have we ever seen a moment where they're not spying on us? Honestly, have we ever seen a moment, So, Martin, yes, sir. I was right. I heard that and I even wrote it down. Bruce, when you see the O, it's pronounce it right. People have to learn a little bit about the other languages, and we all assume an O is O. It's similar though. It's sort of like somebody saying, "Oh, they got punched in the mouth." It's like, "Oh." We've been having cloudy skies during the nights for weeks now. Brenda DeBowie, thanks for sharing that. Here too, it's you can't see anything. It's exactly that. Same here. There's Gate Smasher, hoorah, in the house. Good day to everyone. Thanks a lot, man. It really is, Anika. I'm from USA. I think NATO is being led by World Economic Forum, by the WEF. Worried they may send my son. He's 21. I totally feel for you. I totally hear you on that. And it would be a crazy thing having them wanting to do that. It's fighting someone else's battle. It's really, really not cool. And I'm telling you, nothing's going to come out of all those tanks going over there, guys. They're all going to be blown up. Every friggin' one of them is going to be blown up. They create these groups on the front line of I don't know how many hundreds of people. They all get blasted, and the next day, well, the military higher ups have to wait for a new group to come in from who knows, Poland. They got some people there. Look at the badges. Look at the badges of some of the people they're fighting. Not good. Allahu Akbar. Remember those that used to scream out the Allahu Akbar shit with 2 letters the same and 2 letters the same, an I and an S, and then an I and an S? They're there. They're back out. Now they're threatening, the terrorist group is again threatening people because I don't know where it was, Norway or Switzerland or something. They burnt the Quran. Get over yourselves. If somebody burns my Bible, am I gonna want to cut their heads off? No, because people are allowed their own opinions. Not everyone's smart. You want to start a video channel and start harassing certain people? Well, that's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is to be being able to disagree with certain things. Freedom of speech is not attacking another culture or race just because you're a racist, Rules and laws are simple in reality, but the government's changing those laws. Enough said. Anyone else want to give Woody Harrison a round of applause? Definitely a round of applause. Right now, our favorite bartender from Cheers, Woody Harrison. Is it Harrelson or Harrison? I think it is Harrelson. Anyway, either way, Woody. Yeah, Bojo, thank you very much for mentioning that. He spoke up, for those that don't know it, right at was it in Congress or wherever he was speaking up, spoke up against the elites, spoke out, literally spoke up and out about the elites. Because, you have some actors, the actors that are speaking up against the elites are not allowed acting anymore, right? Like, for example, Woody, with what he just did, he's doing his own thing to be famous and to be an actor now. It's not Hollywood anymore that has possession of him. And Hollywood is another thing that's coming out in the news, apparently really bad. We're getting off subject here, but still interesting. Former Navy SEAL Michael Jekyll is calling. Yes, I don't know him personally, but I know of his what is happening, is calling for all patriots to make ready for action. Patriots Street Fighter video, look it up. Stand up, patriots of the world. Dave's not here, man, bro. Thank you very much. Damn right. There's a couple of Navy SEALs. There's one I follow online that is exposing the fake Navy SEALs, and he's been talking also about what is to come. That's right, Bruce. NATO disattended all Minsk resolutions. Vince from Italy. Grazie. Thank you very much. Vincenzo. Grazie from Italia. Thank you very much. That's true, Vincenzo. What's the deal with winds exceeding over 100 miles an hour, almost like a normal thing these days? Yeah, that's another thing, especially in the States. Well, I say especially, maybe not especially, but yeah, especially in the States, from what I'm hearing, the shit that's going down in Idaho, 7 tornadoes, and the wind up in a flash of an instant where everything lets loose. This happened in Texas. They're talking about Idaho, about Virginia, Florida. Not that long ago, the rain that dumped down over Florida. As a matter of fact, Gate Smasher and Julie, is it Buffalo, New York, right? The snowstorm again there at that time that you guys were there. And we're seeing ridiculous amounts of snow accumulating. You guys in the States, in the warm regions, have been telling me you're getting more snow than I've ever seen here in Canada. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Polar vortex was the reason why you're getting the snow, but I don't know what the reason is of the polar vortex having broken up, because the North Pole was warm while everyone's having ridiculous temperatures. Mexico recently also had snow along the border, if I'm not mistaken, with Texas. It could be another area, but a part of Mexico. So HARP for me is something that really, honestly, comes up as a subject. I cannot help but think that HARP is involved in manipulating the weather. You got geoengineering, and as a matter of fact, did you know that the Mars rover has a chem-cam? Wonder what that's for. A chem-cam. I thought it was interesting the other day. Thanks a lot, Vincenzo, again, for coming by the channel. Our friends in Italia and Italy, the beautiful country of Italy. Hopefully the countries will stay beautiful as they are with everything going on. Brenda DeBowie, thanks again for being here. Jen, Wick 007 in the house. Thank you very much. Alan Johnson. Hey, another person from the UK. Got lots of people from the UK and Australia here in analytics. I got more Australians and English people here than Canadians. So if you're here and you're Canadian, you're helping the people, the Canadian part of my channel, the interest from Canadian people in Ontario or wherever you guys are. I got some people, I never hear about somebody come on and say, hey, Bruce, I'm from Calgary. We love your channel. Hey, Bruce, I'm from BC. Listening in, love your channel. Never hear about it. But I am reaching people in Southern Ontario, so that's a good thing. A couple of people from Niagara on the lake, or Niagara Falls, coming around. They just recently had a meteor strike there, by the way, you guys. Southern Ontario, pretty out of this world when you think of it. Yes, our bacon champion. Eat bacon, my friends. I know no one's going to believe me. And Gate Smasher probably laughs every time I say it, but it's because before he started saying that and appeared here and talking about bacon, which we have a lot of fun with, bacon is good for your health. And the fats that are in bacon, your body can relieve them, get rid of them. It's not like trans fats. And everything they were telling us in the past about those, it's like, I don't know how many times that my mother back in the, and I say back in the days, not that long ago, which makes sense because it was true. They said back then how it was not more than a dozen eggs like every week or 2 weeks. So after having eaten a dozen of eggs every 3 days, I said to myself, well, okay, I'll maybe eat a little bit less than that. Everything they told us in the past that was dangerous for us and whatnot is not exactly right. It's not right what they were saying. Alan Johnson, listening from the UK again. Thanks, you guys. A lot of people from the UK here. How many listening? 125 again. We're stuck and locked at 120 listening. If there were only 400 people that showed up to listen after the 2-hour period, I would get almost 6,000 people that will have stopped by the channel. But I'm forever grateful for each and every one of you that take time to subscribe. I lose 20 subs a stream. It's the trolls like subscribing. I don't know what it gives them, though. It gives them a chuckle, I guess. They subscribe 30 to 50 channels. Then when I get close to going up to 0.9 or like now 97, go look on Social Blade. It says yesterday I'd be at 97,000. Let's see if it takes a month for me to get to 97. It will. So that's how they come and get me. The day I'm supposed to change, they're able to hold me dead for a whole month. I should be over 257,000 subscribers now. I have people from Mexico that come here that tell me when they look at my subscriber count that I have 158,000 subscribers. I wanted one to send me a picture, but unfortunately I didn't get that picture. I would have loved to have seen that. Now I'm coughing again. Right on, Doris. Bruce, I agree with you and Anika Nato. Not often I find people with the same point of view. That is true, Morton. And thanks again for being here. It's true, though. We have a hard time getting along, all of us. Excuse me. And I took the mute off. Sorry about that. Which is normal. I talk for about 2 hours, and after about the second hour, I'm talking too much. The core has stopped. So the landmass, yep, the Earth's interior core. Hey, David Donlan, how's it going, brother? I hope you're doing well, man. Like he says, the Earth's core, yes, has stopped. So the landmass is slowing down. And I said it many a times, but the winds are not slowing down around the so it ends up windier on the surface. Thanks for sharing that, David Donlan. Well, I was very worried about with the core changing like that. For those that don't know, that the interior of Earth's core, which scientists have never been able to visually see, obviously, nor have we ever dug down to the core. And we only look at it with applications and, X-ray machines or whatever, the technology that they have to be able to see inside of Earth, and they get this shape. But as for the temperatures and all that, I mean, we can't be sure about what's going on in the center. I was worried about the core stopping, changing the currents on Earth. And unfortunately, if I had millions of subscribers, you would all be vouching for me for saying, holy shit, Bruce said it. Bruce guessed. It was a guesstimate. And I said, now the currents are going to change. The polar vortex, when it came down, it broke apart. It started snowing in the corner of my house coming from the north. Never happens. The snow coming right out of the sky from the north, and the back of my house was all painted with snow, like only at the back of the house, not even in the front. It's coming from different angles. So take into consideration Earth's axis and all that. Depending on how Earth is in orbit going around the sun on its axis, depending on where it and how it's shifted on its axis, it will change everything with the temperatures here. We got the sun exploding leading up to 2025 is going to be the solar maximum. That's very troublesome for sure, because nobody knows exactly what the hell's going to go on. Thank you, Beth. Thank you very much, Beth, for generous contributions. Does the Earth's core spin independently of the surface of Earth? Thank you. That is a great question. Yes. And the reason why I'm going to tell you yes, it's because right now the core is actually going to start spinning the other way around, and nobody can explain why. But apparently it's something that continually happens every, if I'm not mistaken, 14 years, where that shift of the interior core goes back and forth. But see, this is why I was asking about, that's a great question, why I was asking about the currents. Are they going to change? Are we going to see, is it going to cause snow to appear in the deserts as compared to in the colder regions? Is it really just the sun that's doing that? Like, oh my God, Gates, they want to block out sunlight, which I'm going to get into a bit later also, about how they want to block out the sunlight. What do you guys think of putting porous glass, throwing that shit out into the atmosphere to block the sun? Scientists are not too happy about that one. Moon dust, which is supposedly filled with shards of glass, because basically it's like fiberglass from the way they're talking about the moon dust. They want to block the sunlight coming from the sun to dangerously plunge us into an ice age or a mini ice age. I don't know. It's dangerous stuff. But that was a really good question. I'd have to do a bit more researching on that. And that's exactly what I'm looking into right now. But it is different. It moves differently from the outer layers, the magma and everything that's around it, which is very interesting. You got to wonder why, because in reality, the core inside, taking a guess here, would probably be following the sun's rotation, is what I would think. And possibly the moon that is beside us is causing that delay, which changes the direction and speed probably of the interior core. Don't forget, all the tides and everything here rise and descend based on the full moon, when the moon is full, when it's not full. When the moon is full, the tide's higher. When the moon's not full, the tide's less higher. That remains also very interesting. Thanks again, Beth. Southern Oregon. Hey, Star Hunter, thanks for being here, my friend. 10 years ago, says Bojo, wife and I saw a TR-3B plain as day, sort of woke us up. Bojo, I say it all the time, and all the people that come here all the time, they say the same things. Once you see a UFO once, you're not ever not going to believe it. That's all it takes. It's one sighting. Because when people tell us they see UFOs, it could be that they saw wrong. But then when you see it, and there's no two ways about it. George Nell, thank you very much. Hello from Quebec. Thanks a lot, you guys, for coming in. And welcome to all new subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel to help this channel grow. It's something that, you want to see truth. You want this channel to continue. There'll be more findings and more research done. We got to keep the channel going because they're trying to hide all this information. I'm years ahead of disclosure, is what I think. Many years ahead of disclosure. Maybe not so many years now, because when they tell us about the moon, it's not because they will have said enough. Let's tell them what we're really doing. It's because they got caught. Too many chefs in the kitchen is quite simply the answer. Too many people responsible and in charge now, and too many people have funding power and military power, and the defense system. With the stories coming out now about Kennedy and the CIA and what they did to him. I mean, these self-defense associations in defense, defense department, you got DARPA, they're all working on different projects, all labeled defense. CIA, FBI, NRA, NSA, all these names of all these associations, they have too much power. Reagan said it right in his speech a long time ago, and so did many other people in the 1800s, that we can't leave the military have too much power over the people, because look at the coups that we're seeing, the coup d'etat and everything that's going on. Nancy Saint Hilaire, thank you very much for being here. Hey, I just said nobody from BC. Watching from BC for a few years now. Thank you so much. Always enjoy your awesome videos and talks. I love you for it, Nancy. Thank you very much. You're one of the few people in British Columbia watching this channel, and I appreciate that. Bruce, a lot of your videos from 4 and 6 years ago been showing up lately. I've been watching them. Pretty awesome stuff way back then. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Oh, yeah, and I wanted to tell you, one of them said there was only, oh, yeah, one of them has only 96 views, eh? Yeah. Yes, it drives me nuts. Some of the really good videos only have 96 views on it, 100 views, which is totally, it's crazy to think that, limited views like that, it's like, wow, what do you want to do? Thank you, TTs. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the shift and change in the intensity of light. It drives me crazy seeing that. And East Flanders, Belgium. We live now in Ontario, Canada. Oh, wow. Brenda DeBowie, what a nice little bit of traveling you did. Thanks for sharing that. Space-time is a subject that I'd like to discuss with y'all. Well, that's what we're going to be discussing for all of those of you who want to know. I've got some theories on the subject, says Joel. Just what is coming. What is happening. And tonight at 8 o'clock, partly, we probably won't do it for the 2 hours, but hey, if it's interesting, we'll stick on. But Joel is going to come on for a certain amount of time with us, so we can have some talk about just that. Morton says Ultra actually was real. Yes, I just learned about it. I thought it was a myth, but it's actually a true story. Yeah, the Ultra story, I also thought it was a myth. And when I started doing the researching about MK Ultra and found out it's right here by the Van Allen the Allen Memorial Hospital. I don't know why I say Van Allen. I'm thinking of the friggin' belts. Boy, Bruce, that's too much researching. All started right here in Montreal with some German doctors and with some American CIA members, and they were in charge in taking over certain hospitals and psychiatric wards, and it's just horrible. It is a true story, the MK Ultra. At one point, the actors had leaked that story out. People like Britney Spears are actually under mind controlling powers, or went through mind controlling experimentation, and it's something really, really scary. On the Black Vault, DARPA got exposed in the year 2000s, maybe 2009, around that area. I could be wrong about the exact year. We're doing experimentation on the brain. MK Ultra, mind control experimentation. They were doing mind controlling experiments. And that is something that we just can't have. We can't have that here. And why were they so invested, and they invested so much time in believing that they could destroy the human mind to get rid of your consciousness, completely destroy it, like slobber bobble you, okay? and then reintegrate new knowledge and expect that you're going to actually believe what's being pushed into your mind. China themselves were the first to do experimenting on humans, that when it came out in the news, they were talking about it, saying if it turns out that the experimentation on the humans, it didn't work, because the only reason why they were changed, it's because they were so afraid of the CCP, and they just pretended that, oh, I'm a new person. Yeah, everything is good. CCP's number one. Yeah, wink now. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. And that's, it's a manipulation of humans. We've been manipulated plenty. By Dan Kimenir, Sikindi Canal, African, South Africa. Thank you, sir. George, thanks, man. Appreciate that. South Africa in the house. He says, awesome channel. I thank you very much for that. So do I. Well, that's because we take after God, eh? We're created in his image, and God likes creating things, I think. Who says God is not just one of the best scientists out there? Susan Ravella, hi. Happy Friday. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for coming back time and time again, everyone. I really appreciate that. Susan in the house. Hello to Susan and Rocky, if you guys are listening. Hey, His Highness. It's incredible that the only U.S. president that didn't start a war was Trump. Vincenzo, it is. It's true. It's absolutely true. He is, for real, the only president that hasn't started a war. That's for sure. Futurama. I'm eating bacon and looking for trouble. My bacon's almost done. It's always more fun looking for trouble when you got bacon on you. I agree with that. Thanks, Susan. Programming them so early. Now I ask them and they spew it exactly as they are programmed to. So sad, my friends. And down on his ops, or third girl name for itself. We live in a crazy world, Julie, I tell you. Dara says, what a world we live in. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. I agree with that one. Trudeau's having Chinese military train in Canada for cold weather combat. Yeah, what the hell is that? I don't like that. I'll tell you something else I just found out. Thanks, David. Beth Noyes, I found out that we have Ukrainians here in Canada building tanks for the war. We sent them in here building tanks to send out to the war. Imagine. Cold weather combat. Only thing we got to combat here in Canada is Justin himself. Dwayne Beauchamp, merci. Thanks, Dwayne. My fellow Vikings in Sweden has a kindergarten where everyone is hin. I'm against it, of course. It's either he or she. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, Morton. That's the same, man. Isn't that's the craziest stuff that is going on, to people that are saying, this, I agree with that. Boy, girl. We learned about it in Kindergarten Cop. Remember in Kindergarten Cop, the movie? A boy has a penis, a girl has a vagina. The end. And that's what they should have taught in school. When it comes to sex courses in school, especially for grades 1 to 6, can we leave it at that? A boy has a dangler, a girl has the lips. As curious as you may be, you will have to find out yourself when you get older. Like my bubble eyes. I could speak out so much. If there was no laws against what we could say online, my streams would be dope. It'd be incredible. Tonight, one of the many topics that we all can discuss, Anika. Absolutely. We can discuss everything and anything. Nobody's ever explained people's accents from different areas on the planet. I'm thinking the frequency changes, therefore the accents are caused by the frequency. Interesting. Absolutely interesting. You got to love the accents because there's accents here too. Um, I drive 20, 30 miles and already the accent starts changing. You see a difference as you drive just a little bit further away. All theories are good here. We love them. Hey, Riley G, thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. Hey, Bruce, had a dream about jets chasing a circle UFO and jets getting blown up and people around me turning into burnt dust. Most vivid dream ever. Wow. That is creepy as hell. If you're like me, I only get the dreams when something's happening. Actually, it's like messages I get from the other side. If you want, that's a crazy dream. Is there going to be an invasion? Everyone's talking about Project Bluebeam. Lots of people are talking about it. We have yet to see what's to happen, but we need to force feed a dictionary to the Looney Tune folks. Absolutely. They want to twist and rewrite our languages, yes, until we can't understand each other anymore. And that's exactly what they're doing, Susan. There's no two ways about it. It's only that. It's for us to not get along, to disagree, Pluto's a planet. It's not a planet. It is a planet. It's not a planet. You can say one fish, two fishes. No, one fish, two fish. And then we change it back to one fishes, two fish. Ridiculous. Maybe that would be a good thing, George. Eh? No electricity here when the blackout hits. This is why I'm telling in a Notaz knows from Ohio. Thank you very much. Ohio, USA, eyes on Ohio. Everyone has for sure. That's well said, George. When you think of it, hey, we talked about so many interesting things. I didn't even talk about anything that was on the subject today. We'll make a quick recap of that in a couple of minutes. I always try to get to everyone. See that, George, if there's a blackout, I always say blackouts aren't going to happen. People are like, oh, yes, it will. And I said, well, not deliberately, because the government doesn't want to get the internet down. Because don't forget, the internet is a tool against us. It always has been. They need this opened up. They need to see frustrated people. They need to know where we're located and what we're planning to do and stuff. When there's a blackout, government's going to be flipping out, because any group of people approaching parliament or anything, no one's going to know what's going on. It's going to be in the dark situation is what's going to happen. Bruce, make sure it was not a Chinese balloon. You might get a U.S. missile. Yes, Vincenzo. Oh my gosh. The jokes all the way into Italy, which is true, about them shooting down what they thought was a Chinese balloon with some hobbyist that sent up a red balloon, one of 99 red balloons up into the sky, and a missile shot it down. I'll say worse than that, Vincenzo. It's a missile they used that was over 400,000 US dollars to shoot down a balloon. I mean, that's crazy. And the worst of it, he wasn't even dead center on the balloon. Just saying. Hey, Notaz knows. Why is time going by so fast right now? Time keeps on slipping into the future. Notaz knows says tanks are easy targets. I never understood, Notaz knows. Thanks for being here. I never understood how people felt safe in a tank. It's the first and only things that everyone's aiming for. They're out in a freaking field with one road, 16 miles long road, that this tank's going 60 kilometers or 80 kilometers an hour. Boom, getting blown up one after the other. It's ridiculous. Everything they're sending, I mean, they're They're not advanced, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Panzer tanks. Okay, from the World Wars. Margaret, I was talking about that last stream. USAF have sentient. It couldn't tell some of the what some of the objects were. Interesting. It is very interesting because this monster, sentient, which can also predict future outcome, present, and has opinions on what happened in the past. Sentient. Look up the meaning of sentient right off the bat. This living artificial intelligent satellite, which reminds me, like I said the last time, you know, the Star Wars movie where the satellite they caught was actually God that was making all the decisions in the universe and everything in the Star Trek episode. And it was an episode, probably a Star Trek movie. I don't know. I don't watch movies anymore. It's been years. But that's interesting. Thanks, Margaret. Northern lights were visible here. And yes, Denmark 2 days ago. I got some amazing photos. It's beautiful. Lucky for you, Morton. Here too, it's out now, but you guys are the first. It's in the news all the time. Denmark has been seeing, usually is going to be the first one to see an incredible sky. Different countries, different colors. Here we see greens, very thick greens and purples and a bit of yellow when there's an aurora borealis in the sky here. The world needs to get along. They need to get along, and we all have our opinions. And like somebody even just said here before, I think it was Morton or somebody says it's rare that people have the same opinions. Everyone's disagreeing with themselves all the time. It's deliberate fighting all the time. Made ferret tunnel vehicles for this war years ago. See, that's another scary thing, is that everything that's been under construction for the military years and years ago, they all have those things, all areas where they're hiding them and whatnot. Oh yeah, it's going to shift happily now. It's happily on its way, destroying parts of of the world. Aurora Borealis, Alberta, Saskatchewan border is brilliant in the north. Cloud cover heavy though. That's why I was upset with the cloud cover. I can't see things here because of the sky, exactly because of that cloud cover. Damon Irish, somebody posted those red UFOs on Facebook from North Carolina. Thank you very much for letting me know that, Damon. Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate that. My son, too, I think he said that there was some other people that had spotted it. That's an interesting one. Didn't know that one. Interesting. So all these guys are basically CIA families, you know, I guess. Yes, here for Woody. Hollywood is collapsing. Yeah, guys, absolutely. If you don't know, my brother started, well, he's had it for a little while, but he was busy working, wasn't focusing on his channel. Has a YouTube channel. If you guys want to check it out and see what my brother is at the same time, Jason John Swartz. The link is there. And thank you, Jason, if you're listening. He gave me a shout out about the last video I posted. If you're here new to the channel and you have not seen the last video, jump on the last video to check out to see the possibility of there being a war on the moon, UFOs getting shot down. If the elites went away, we would get along. We would get along. They'd still be fighting. But I much prefer us fighting without having any cops out there, because back in the far west, everybody had a gun and a holster with bullets filling their guns, and everybody got drunk and sat around together and usually got along really well because everybody has a gun, right? Making it sound different to us that guns are dangerous. Yeah, guns are dangerous. We still gonna own them. We still want to own them to protect ourselves. That's for sure. Yeah, is Pervy wood. Absolutely. Bunch of Balenciaga pedophiles. All of Hollywood. That's the reality. Ew. Yeah, that's true. They all act like bad kids. You're right about that. Yep. Monkey Works. They proved it for sure. They're manipulating it. They have a patent out on it and everything. It's 100%. 100% for sure. Let's see here. Thanks again for coming in, everyone. Hey, time is going by fast. What the hell? We had a lot to talk about. See, there was too many good subjects that you guys brought up. And that's good. We spoke about that. There's so much to speak about. Let's see here. Real quickly, over a few things that I did see this morning. I'll keep it interesting and not boring because there's a lot going on in the news. Okay, so there's a nozzle erosion. I won't get into that. I'll just look at the headlines. A nozzle erosion was blamed for the Vega C launch failure. Okay, there's also the Astra that identifies the cause of the last failed rocket 3.3 launch. So there's a lot of launch failures that are happening. There's one that really bothers me. See, the White House, they're talking about cyber security strategy, warns of a very complex threat environment. So satellites are getting hacked by hackers, white hat hackers, I'm sure, are hacking into the programs here on Earth that are running and monitoring the data for those satellites. Raytheon, you hear that a lot. They just won $250 million contract for missile tracking satellites. The 7 satellites that they're going to build will be part of the Space Development Agency's tracking Layer Tranche 1. Washington says the Space Development Agency awarded Raytheon Technologies a $250 million contract to build 7 missile tracking satellites for agencies in low Earth orbit constellation. The company announced this yesterday on March 2nd. The 7 satellites will be part of SDA's Tracking Layer Tranche 1, a U.S. Defense Department constellation of infrared sensing satellites intended to detect and track ballistic and hypersonic missiles launched by foreign and adversarial countries. In addition to Raytheon's 7 satellites, the Tracking Layer Tranche 1 will have 14 made by Northrop Grumman and 14 made by L3Harris. The name Northrop Grumman, you will hear a lot, and you will hear it all the way as far back as during the Apollo missions. There's a lot of subsidiaries and frontal organizations that revolve all around the other agencies in defense, like the CIA, the FBI. These frontal organizations are hard to track and to keep to find out exactly who they are, right? They blame themselves. They got a whole bunch of different frontal organizations. When something happens, well, they put the blame on them, and then they, that's what they do. They've been doing that for a long time. I don't like too much that the Defense Department is ever so interested in smartphones to satellite communication services. So they're going to be sticking their nose in that, which is not necessarily a good thing. So 7 satellites and soon 14 satellites to track ballistic missiles and hypersonic missiles around Earth. I got a question. Who was tracking our airspace before that? How long has China been here spying on us? Right? Probably for a long time. SpaceX launches 51 Starlink satellites to orbit after weather delays, and the Falcon 9 rocket aced its landing on a ship at sea. Good for him. We have a Chinese spacecraft, right? Did you know that? A Chinese spacecraft that is checking out U.S. satellites high above Earth. Satellites in geostationary orbit circle Earth above the equator from west to east, taking about 23 hours and 56 minutes and 4 seconds. Come on, fuck off with the seconds. The same amount of time it takes Earth to complete one rotation. They never say the same amount of time. This makes satellites in geo appear to be stationary. It's exactly what I explained to you all at the beginning of the stream, over a fixed position. So we could be looking up at the stars and you'd never notice that there's a satellite there watching you, because if they're in geostationary orbit, know what I mean? Which is crazy stuff. A Chinese satellite launched in 2018 has been inspecting other nations' spacecraft high above Earth in geostationary orbit. Tong Sing Jishu Xiang Waxin 3, named vaguely as a communications experiment satellite, and call them whatever they want, was sent up into geostationary orbit in late 2018. It then released a small sub-satellite. Ooh, little surprise, right? Possibly to help TJ3's capabilities. Orbital data reveals TJS3 has been making close approaches to American satellites in recent months. For example, the Twitter account Orbital Focus notes that the satellite has been drifting along the geostationary belt, but pausing to take a closer look at satellites by slowing down and watching them. USA 233 and USA 298, both thought to be military communication satellites operated by the U.S. Space Force, were being surveyed. That's scary stuff when you think of it. Satellites in geostationary orbit operate at 22,236 miles. That's over 30,000 kilometers above Earth. Exactly 35,786 kilometers above Earth, where their velocity matches the rotation of the planet, like I said, and sees them appear fixed over one point on the surface below. This orbit, thus highly prized for its use for communications and other purposes. At the same time, a spacecraft that either raises or lowers its orbit a few tens of miles will be able to drift west or east, respective to other satellites, allowing a satellite over time to sweep past others and take a look. Deliberately doing that, right? That's no good. US, Russian, and Chinese satellites have all increasingly been scouting each other's satellites. We know that. It's the beginning of time in geostationary orbit, of course, in recent years. Using close approaches to attain images and other data. Yeah, they're spying on us. This has led to a game in which countries, a real game, aim to learn about each other's spacecraft and test their counter space and SSA capabilities. Little is known about the TJS-3 satellite, but the US and other nations will doubtless be watching its movements closely, as they are us, watching our movements closely. So we're paying for that, just paying for people to be out there watching satellites in other countries without us actually knowing what the hell's going on, right? The moon dust shield that could help fight climate change on Earth. I'm not too happy about this one. The proposed solution isn't perfect. No, you can be sure it's not. It's horrible, actually, but could help by us sometime, researchers say. I'd love to meet those researchers. Dust launched from the surface of the moon could help cool Earth, a new study suggests. But now it gets a little bit interesting. Astronomers are exploring solutions to mitigate climate change, one of humanity's biggest challenges, by using some tiny players like dust particles. In recent research, they proposed mining, scooping, and blasting dust from the moon's surface. They propose mining, scooping, and blasting dust from the moon's surface. Keep that in mind when I show some of the explosions we see up there and all the clouds that are around the moon, and placing it between Earth and the sun. So now it goes back to wanting to block out the sun rays, as Bill Gates was talking about its space drone bubbles that are going to be displacing themselves wherever they want between Earth and the sun, to be able to block out sunlight coming into our atmosphere and to get rid of that greenhouse heating effect of the climate. Why is China heating up Earth's atmosphere to do experiments? This is something that's confirmed. They're heating up the atmosphere. Why would they want to block out light? Well, maybe that's why. Maybe they want to block out the light so that they can manipulate the surface and the atmosphere. The problem is, if the atmosphere is heating up too much, they're going to need to cool it down. They're playing God. They're playing God. That's all they needed. They found a God particle a couple of years ago, and now they're gods, right? They think they're gods. In recent research, they propose mining, scooping, and blasting dust from the moon's surface and placing it between Earth and the sun, where the newly placed clouds would shade our planet for a few days before solar wind and radiation pressure dispersed them in a year. Researchers say such dust shields could reduce earth-bound sunlight by 1.8%, which falls within the range needed to slow our planet's rising temperature. Creating such a shade would require 23 billion pounds, 10 billion kilograms of dust per year, which is roughly 100 times more mass than humans have sent into space to date, the authors wrote in their study. How many launches would that take from Earth? About 700 launches or more than we've done to date. Benjamin Bromley, never heard of him, an astrophysicist at the University of Utah and the study's lead author, told space.com in an email, but from the moon, we envision an electromagnetic launcher whose specifications are not yet determined. This is scaring the shit out of me. The astronomers are suggesting that dust particles could be used to block sunlight before it reaches Earth. This proposal solution is not new. In 2012, astronomers ambitiously considered pushing the largest near-Earth asteroid, the 22-mile wide, 35-kilometer wide 1036 Ganymede. Don't know if you know it, Ganymede. Okay, guys? Between the sun and Earth to both create a dust cloud and gravitationally hold it in place. Astronomers have also explored expensive, of course, and resource-intensive geoengineering projects like gigantic screens and reflective mirrors to cool Earth. Now, this is extremely interesting when you hear all that. Like, who says that on the moon they don't have reflectors like that or deliberately set up on certain other planets or stars? I mean, they found organic rich material on an asteroid flying by Earth the other day. There's vegetation on the moon, I'm telling you. A newly proposed solution uses dust readily available on the moon's surface, so it would be simpler, cheaper, they say, and more effective compared to previous methods. Researchers argue, though, of course, launching from the moon requires much less energy than launching from Earth because lunar gravity is just 1/6 as strong as that of our planet. And I don't believe that. I do not believe that. The team analyzed the sizes, shapes, and compositions of different particles like coal dust, porous glass, sea salts, at least they're not bath salts, and moon dust. They also compare the effectiveness of launching dust from a platform in space to blasting it from the moon's surface. Once placed at or near the first Lagrangian Lagrange point, L1, right? A gravitationally stable spot between the sun and Earth. Okay, guys, James Webb Telescope is there in Lagrange, okay? And James Webb Telescope is there. Do you remember a couple of months ago in the end of 2022, was it Bennu or Ryugu, whatever asteroid that China or Japan or the States, I don't know anymore, would have landed on to get a sample of it and then created dust in space that blocked out a part of the sun. You don't come tell me that wasn't deliberately done. So all the experiments and tests that they're doing, they're not hiding it. They're hiding the truth, but you're still seeing them. So they'll say, "Oh, well, unfortunately, there's a dust leak that's leaking out of the cargo coming back to Earth with Bennu material." So that's very easy for them to say that and do whatever tests that they want to do out there in space. This blows my mind. And if we look here, the geoengineering projects, are they talking about that? They're going to talk to us a bit about that. Space geoengineering, can we control the weather? Explain how existing and future geoengineering technologies could help humans to manipulate the climate. They're admitting this, that they're manipulating the climate. What I'm reading here right now, this was published on February 11th, 2022. So we're backing up a year and a month ago. Okay. Space geoengineering. Can we control the weather? Geoengineering is the use of technology to alter Earth's climate. It may have become the topic of daily small talk, but the weather and its changing states have a big impact on individuals, localized areas, and our planet as a whole, obviously. In some countries, the prolonged lack of rain creates harsh, dry conditions, while others are constantly threatened by surges of floodwater. We're seeing that right now. Severe weather varies drastically from country to country, but one change in climate is common worldwide. Global temperatures continue to steadily increase. That's what they're saying. As modern technology, so during an ice age, and I believe we're in the interglacial period right now of an ice age, of the ice age that started many thousands of years ago. An ice age lasts a long period of time. There are cooling periods of an ice age, freezing temperatures, but there's also a warming period, and it lasts many years. Nobody knows how many years that the warming period would last. But I can tell you one thing: the heating up of the temperature, the greenhouse gases that they say that are made by carbon footprint, our carbon footprints, I don't believe it. Okay. I don't believe there's a carbon problem either. You know, they got trees that God made that fixes the carbon problem here on Earth, right? That's how it is. It recycles it. Trees recycle the carbon dioxide, they breathe it in, then oxygen, breathe out oxygen. But all the stories that they're saying about that, the carbon footprint, it's all bullshit. Farmers in Canada now, they're Justin Trudeau is destroying farming here in Canada. Did you all know that Canadian farming is 70% cleaner as carbon footprint than any other country in the world? Why would they charge, the people that are not causing the problems? And that's how it is. It's the good people are going to be paying now for the bad people, right? And who are the bad people? It's just the elites. The elites go around their bloody meetings and spend millions of dollars, right? And hundreds of thousands of dollars in fuel. So calculate what carbon footprint Bill Gates has for having gone around the world to talk about world climate. It's a friggin' joke in reality. Controlling the weather from space, geoengineering projects are all created to change Earth's climate, duh, while many are intended for use on ocean surfaces and in Earth's atmosphere. Not all of these projects are designed to function on our planet. Space geoengineering involves taking a large step back from Earth in an attempt to make more significant alterations. Entering into space means being closer to the sun, and so much of the geoengineering technology envisaged for, that's not a word, for Earth's orbit involves manipulating the sunlight that illuminates our planet. Oh, here's a guess. So does that mean that they've been manipulating the sunlight since 2010 or 2000, and that's why everything is out of sync? Maybe, right? They just said it. Geoengineering technology envisaged, fake word, for Earth's orbit involves manipulating the sunlight that illuminates our planet. So how are they manipulating the sunlight that illuminates our planet? Well, very easily by wanting to block out the sun. Bill Gates talked about wanting to spread chalk in the air, right? The chalk between Earth and the sun to block out sunlight. So this cloud would remain there for approximately a year. I mean, what is, you know, it's crazy. The first idea for this form of space-based technology came from engineer James. They're going to just call him Engineer James. In early 1989, his concept involved building a giant glass sheet of 2,000 kilometers in width, according to the British Interplanetary Society. When orbiting Earth, this glass structure would serve as a barrier between the sun and Earth, reflecting sunlight back into space and reducing the radiation that entered Earth's atmosphere. This substantially sized solid structure would be incredibly expensive to fly to space and would likely need to be assembled in space, right? That's why we see all these launches. In space, assembly technology is something that is currently being experimented with, according to the Chinese Journal of Aeronautics. Speaking of Chinese, they did another secret spacewalk a few hours ago, and they're not telling other countries what they are doing. What are we waiting for to destroy the CCP? Is it just me that wants to endure what China is doing to all the countries? They're infiltrated here. We can't even talk about the way they infiltrated because, can't talk about selections. So, things I cannot say. One of these things are not like the other. 3:13 already. Let's scroll back here. And let's look down a little bit here. Thanks to all for having stopped by the channel to listen to the streams. There was lots to say in this stream, boy. We didn't even get through half of it. Southern England got the Northern Lights twice in 1 week, and it could happen again. So Shetland Islands to Somerset, from Norfolk to Northern Ireland, will be seeing most likely these Northern Lights. Radio interference from satellites is threatening astronomy. Zone proposed for testing new technologies. Visible light is just one part of the electromagnetic spectrum that astronomers use to study the universe. The James Webb Space Telescope was built to see infrared light. Other space telescopes capture X-ray images, and interesting. So, scientists discover the answer to the mysteries of cloudy filters on satellites. It's because of water. And I will leave it at that. I love hearing about water in space. More and more we're hearing about it. Just a matter of time till they start talking about the bloody moon and possibly all the water that's there. Most likely. Oh, look, good thing that people invested billions of dollars into James Webb Telescope, because James Webb Telescope is getting closer to finding out what ionized the universe. I don't give a shit about why the universe is ionized. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous stuff that they're doing. Like, how do mice last in space and microgravity, making little fucked up suits for the mice and sending them out in little spaceships? It's a freak show. You know, we heard about Frankenstein movies and all that, and we said, hey, yeah, it's an exaggeration of a part of the truth. Nope. It's not as bad as what's really going on. They say major collaboration reveals new insights in binary star systems. Who gives a shite about all that? I want them to talk about Earth and the moon. That's, the interesting things that they should be doing. You said it, all the snow in Spain and Morocco, which is not normal, by the way, but it's definitely related to the pole shift. Last month they've been spraying there. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening. Quite a lot of craziness. No, I don't. I don't have asthma. I don't even have problems breathing except for the UFO arc. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I need all the help I can get. I appreciate that. I get bronchitis. It's because I sing, eh? Nick, thank you, bro. Thanks for the generous contributions, you guys. I sing a lot and I talk a lot. 2 hours stream, and I just did an hour video this morning. So, no, I don't seem to have any asthma problems. Just the eye that is always red here. There's always a pain in the eye. The side of my face is more swollen on one side. You can tell it's like overlapping the ear, the side of the cheek. Different allergies. I just don't believe in hospitals. I don't believe in medication. Sitting here ever since I've been young, not taking any meds, just Tylenol. I take a lot of vitamins, and I do take all the vitamins possible that I should be taking, quercetin and everything, things that you guys probably won't even know about, but when I take vitamins, I feel sick. When I take regular vitamin pills, it makes me feel like I'm dying. I don't feel good taking vitamins at all. Sounds a little crazy, but thanks again, Beth, and everything. And everyone, let me scroll down here to get the last few comments. There's a lot of people here. No, 120. Still watching. Dream about invasion, nukes for years and getting worse. Yes, we're raptured in midst of it. We disappear. Believe UFOs are fallen angels, Nephilim. I respect that. A lot of people believe that. Absolutely. Yeah, I know about those, a bit, the tablets. Absolutely. It's in there about the Earth's core. We'll check that out. That's true. Let's talk about it. Lots of people talk about the Earth's core. Thank you very much, Julie. Where's UFO Arc? Bruce, thank you very much, UFO Arc. Is there an element of the UFO situation that you consider yourself an expert in? I'm not usually stumped by a question. I never get stumped by questions. Maybe I'm just holding back on answering. I consider myself a person that experienced some spiritual encounters that changed my life. And for whatever the reason, I'm lucky to be able to see a lot of UFOs. But is there an element of the UFO situation that you consider yourself an expert in. I would say no. I would say no. I'm just trying to be as humble as I can. I don't think there can be any expertise by anyone in a field that is theory and always evolving and ever changing. I'm lucky as hell. I'm an expert in being lucky. I could say that. I'm definitely an expert in being lucky. Um, I, I like to believe that I have some very, very credible, very unique theories that some of them might be right and stuff. I'm just really see myself as a regular guy, and especially try not to be superior over anybody. But we can have nothing wrong with having an expertise in a certain area. I know a lot about UFOs, but I actually believe that I'm bringing some new terms and new theories to ufology, and that people are going to understand that all the different characteristics of everything that we're filming means that we can't put them all in the same boat. So when I saw the Pentagon say that there's a lot of different characteristics, well, you know that that's true. That's a part of truth that they're saying. Even though they don't say much of it. That's incredible. Very incredible. A lot of us feel that we were contacted, as I also feel it several times, especially when my dad was about to pass away. And after he did, lots of things happened to me that defy reality, obviously, and logics of physics. But I believe in it. Like one of you said before, once you see a UFO once, you don't stop believing it. You'll always believe it. I always wish that I could answer everyone's comment, but it's always absolutely impossible to be able to answer everyone's comment. Bonjour, MC Pelletier. M'en vais chez un ami qui possède un télescope de 10 pouces. Hey! Et le ciel est clair, ça va être chouette. MC Pelletier, merci d'être ici. Puis écoute, je te souhaite super bonne chance. Puis tu vas voir la différence avec les couleurs que je monte, puis avec tout simplement un télescope qui monte la Lune. Tant que l'exposition n'est pas descendue, tu ne vois pas de couleur. Tu vois une boule grise lumineuse. Puis laisse-moi savoir comment est-ce que tu as trouvé l'expérience. Merci beaucoup. No Ukrainian young couple who fled here, family fighting back home. They're completely enamored with the actor. Hard to see the forest for the trees. Yeah, that's another thing too. I mean, poor Ukrainian people trying to get away to a safer place, but it's the Canadian government allowing somebody from another country to come in and build tanks and then be shipped to other places. We're all paying for this here, us in Canada, like a lot of Americans are and people in other countries. This crazy shit that's going on that they're not talking to people about drives me nuts. Hey, look at all these people. Thank you so much, guys. Darla Lama, thumbs up, please. Thank you for coming in. Am I all the way down here yet? It's jammed. I'm trying to get down here. Get down, get down, get down. How come it looks like there's so many people here and it's only 119 watching? Mr. C, thank you so much, guys, for the generous contributions. Peter Benton's here. Dan Sheehan. This is just horrible. I get upset when I can't answer all the comments. It's literally impossible. Peter Benton, thank you, sir. It's important to thank the people contributing, going all out here. Anyone that contributed and that I missed you, please let me know. Let's scroll all the way down here. 324. Come on, everything's jammed. Wants to spread chalk. Is that what the white dust is? See, exactly, Norma. See, this is why I'm wondering why we see these milky skies. We never know if they're putting chalk out there. I notice an absence of testing results about that. More censorship. Right about that, you are. Absolutely. Thank you, Norma C. Lise, merci d'être ici. Thank you, Lise. Yeah, George, Klaus, a big piece of glass. Isn't that mysterious? A piece of glass that's going to reflect sunlight back. And who says that there aren't a whole bunch of pieces of glass out there, or that they're trying to build that glass object? It would be near impossible to see, except with the actually probably be pretty blinding. And the way they were talking, yeah, that's what they wanted to do. It's a little weird. The Cool Kids, Friday Night Live with Bruce, 8 p.m. And that's when you guys and gals can come back tonight so we can have some more conversations about a whole bunch of stuff. This went by way too fast. We're going to have Joel Burgess come on tonight at 8 o'clock to talk about a whole bunch of things, exactly what's going on, and maybe a little bit of a heads up to learn a little bit about Joel, what he thinks, his opinions, and maybe a bit on what he's working on at home. Looking forward to see that. We'll see that tonight at 8 o'clock. Haven't spoke to my wife in 4 years. I didn't want to interrupt her. Smart. So we learn, us guys, we learn. Yes, the creator's job, not mankind's. And YouTube creators. No, sorry. Not comparing myself to God. Wouldn't even want to. The arrogance of the elite to think they can control and manipulate weather and all the people. You said it though, David. It's beyond arrogance, because they sure as hell are very arrogant to think that they can actually do that, which I don't believe that they will. Hey, you guys with the pains, and I wish the best health to each and every one of you. I hope that you're not forced because of your jobs to take certain things that you don't want to take, and just sending out a lot of energy and love to everybody that has problems inside of your families, maybe some loved ones that you lost, which we know it's a fact because it happens. But sending some energy, high amounts of energy out to you all there. Hey, 2115 here in Viking land. And the Vikings were a lot smarter, Morton. Hey. Hey, I'm trying. Morton, the Vikings were a lot smarter than people said they were. Remember, the Vikings pass off as savages with the horned helmet, which, by the way, there's no proof that any Viking ever had a horned helmet. It's something they put in the movies because they call them warriors, and then they had to pretend that they weren't clean and that they didn't comb themselves. And now in history, they're finding that the Vikings had combs and everything, probably even scissors to trim their facial hair down and to shave and everything, as compared to the Vikings that with the scruffy beard, and they're all giant oxes. They're all big like Bruce. Yeah, right. Thanks, Matt. Why don't monsters eat ghosts? Because they taste like sheet. I like that. Like one. Good one. Hey, Colton, my friend Colton Lewis from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, in the house. Thank you very much, brother, for being here. Can tell him what is ionizing the universe. It's called love is ionizing the universe. I'll tell you what's ionizing the universe. The sun is what I believe is ionizing the universe. Check out my brother, guys, Jason John Swartz. That's his channel. He gave a nice shout out. What's wrong with me? Gave a nice, not shout out, but shout out to me for my channel, and go and give him a thank you. Maybe check out to see what he's talking about too. JT Castro sold out. Welcome, China. Yep. Yes, Castro's son. Not a lot of people know that. Fidel, my dad, Fidel. What would his dad be? I don't think he'd be too proud of his son. It's all fake and they expect us to believe whatever they say. You're right about that, Eric Krause. Thanks a lot for being here, Eric. Nice to meet you, man. What's the difference between the people in Pakistan and Abu Dhabi? The people in Pakistan don't like the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do. Hey, I like that. That's good, clean fun. Good, clean fun. It's also healthy to laugh at each other a little bit. I like that. Comedians used to do that back in the day, right? Laugh at each other a little bit, and it was okay. You know, we used to have fun with it. But now, racism. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, I mean, I could try as hard as hell, as hard as I can, to say that that's racist, and it's not. It's funny though. We get people from Pakistan here also that come here, and Abu Dhabi. I assume. Mark Ferguson, His Highness, thanks for being here again. Yes, Anika Danza is a funny man. Mark Ferguson, how's it going, man? I hate Bill Gates. Prick. He's an evil reptilian entity. Not sure of the validity of James Webb, a fake CGI show. I agree with you on all accounts. The first part especially, and no, not especially, both accounts. James Webb, does it even exist? Is it even out there? Is it just a bomber, a space bomber, like out there, right, or whatnot? It could be many things. It could be anything. All I care is when I wink at my favorite star, she winks back. Thank you very much. I thought I was your favorite star. Oh yes, and you want the stars winking back always, because if they're not winking, it's something. It's something. If they're not winking, they're gonna blow, I think. Yes. Hello, Susan Alt. Thanks, Susan, for stopping by. Matt Street said the best one. Yeah, if you want less sunlight, go inside. That's what we used to do in the past. Put on some sunscreen or wear a hat, right? Wear a sombrero. What do you tell an A's hole with two black eyes? Nothing. You already told him twice. Love it. Yeah, George is like me, a piece of glass. What the hell? Glass shattering asteroids going by, hitting the. I mean, wow. Just my way of venting. I work with special ed kids all day. Dan, I hear you, man. I had the wonderful chance of working with special need and special ed kids, man. Traveling them on the bus, I was able to participate in a lot of their parties and end of year things and stuff like that. I learned a lot from them. I was a bit afraid of going to work with them. My dad, when he got in his accident before he died and was paralyzed, became a quadriplegic, and I thought I would have had a hard time being with people, because I really feel for them. And when I see someone in a wheelchair, or I'm not saying I can't be beside the people, it's that I feel so emotional. And it reminded me so much of my dad. But boy, the experience working with those people, and you're going to agree with me and know that I'm telling the truth, Dan, when you start working with these kids, you don't worry for anyone that's there. Everyone's a normal person, and they are much more positive in their everyday. They have so much more to want to look up to than some people. And I learned so much from them working with heavily disabled children and elderly people, blind, deaf and dumb. It was a hell of an experience. I met a lot of people. It was hard sometimes. It was heartbreaking, but not 99% of the time. What was heartbreaking a little bit sometimes with some of the parents. You could see some of the parents were really tired, and some of the parents just didn't have the efforts. Some don't have the capabilities of being good parents. And when you see it, it's heartbreaking. Absolutely. The same with me when I was traveling around. I was I loved my work. I had a hell of a good time working with heavily handicapped people, because the goal, and I hope your goal is too, Dan, obviously, is to make them happy and make them smile. There's not more emotionally happy people than somebody that has a heavy handicap. It's overwhelming. Walking in the morning, going to work, saying, "Well, my bloody sore back, I'm going to have a hard time today," and you see a child come on with, prosthetic leg or arm, glass eye, infections around the body. They smell like medicine, and it's just horrible. It makes you realize how lucky you are, and that there's always someone worse off than you in the world. I eat donuts all day. Hey, listen, I could manage that. I could manage that, eating donuts all day. Wow, Morton, thank you so much. Wow, guys, thank you, Morton. Hey, Morton, her. I gotta think it right. Am I crazy thinking that the WEF controls medias? No, what 100%. The World Economic Forum, I absolutely believe, Morton, 100% the controlling the media. Here in Canada, CBS and all that, the media, bullshit media. Son of a gun. Just basically, I'm choking on my spit. Here in Canada, Justin Trudeau paying them off. They're not allowed. They are not allowed at all, the news media, to talk about anything that Trudy doesn't permit them to say. Thanks again, His Highness. I am going to get off here, you guys. Michelle Adams, hi to you. That's the address. If you guys want to send me some spaceship parts, that's the place to do it. Send me a letter, hate speech, thank yous, and that's the place to do it. Dan, I've been teaching a special ed for 30 years. Wow, brother. He's a really nice guy, and he's graduating in June. Awesome. That's true, Eric. I agree with you with that. There aren't very many minerals and vitamins out there. Not good ones that we know of. Right, Mark? Thanks, Darla. Yeah, we got some new people here, Darla. I'm always infatuated, so happy about it. Morton Hurry, I hope I have a good laugh with that. I hope to see you back at the channel also, brother. I really appreciate that. What do you think about time travel and temporal war, Bruce? I believe it, and I believe it, and I believe it's real. Temporal war. I love that one. Interesting. That's what's happening, anyways. Time travel, I believe, is real. And I wonder at times if we're not all traveling through time continually, and that it's not the same stream that I have every single morning when I come here, the same contributions, the same people come back, we repeat the same things, and we go to bed and we come back again. Hey, it's yet again March 3rd. Scary stuff. They know how to travel back into the past now, but it's not like in the movies. They can't travel back 1,000 years or 10,000 years. We haven't found out yet. And when we do, I was born in 75. If we go back to 1975, all of us here, I'm not going to see myself living in the same area as where I was at that time, because there's a shift when you try to go back 10, 20, 30 times. Now you're going to say, how the hell do you know that? I don't. It's recent information that the scientists are starting to talk about. But anyways, I'm just coughing my ass off here. I am going to have to get off. The truth is up there. Absolutely, His Highness. And to everyone, Steve, Chicago in the house, to everyone I missed. Thanks, Dwayne. Yes, they do wish it was that easy. You rock, Julie. Thanks. Love you guys. George Klaus, thanks again for coming here, brother. Suzanne, How's it going? Thanks. Be back tonight. Absolutely. I will see you with bells on. I'm gonna save my voice so I'll be able to talk to Joel. See if I'll be able to. If I'll be able to. I'm repeating. I'm stuttering. I'm stuttering. Enjoy your day and eat bacon. See you tonight at 8 p.m. with all the cool kids. I will have plenty of questions. Realms, spirits, dimensions, solar systems, binary, genders. No, I added that in. I love you, Gate Smasher. Man, thanks a lot. You and Julie, both of you, for the incredible support you give this channel. It's a lot. See these two boxes right here, these two big boxes right here. That's just one loving couple supporting the channel. So I love you guys for it. Glass has been the answer all along, right? Because we're already in a glass bubble, are we not? I'm getting a sore neck now. If you're an alien, explain Mayan laws. Well, the Mayans lived a long time ago. Time is my favorite dimensions. Same here. The fourth dimension, apparently, what they say. So I would say if we're in the 3D world and we're seeing time revolve around us, well, maybe we're between the third and fourth dimension, right? Maybe that's why I'm chubby. Maybe not. Maybe not. Thanks again, Darla. Yep, tonight we'll be live, you guys, out to lunch. Thanks for being here again. $21 with 37 years of experience. Yeah, that'd be a little hard. He's maybe more than 21. I like my researchers here. Investigators. Tonight we are live again. Tonight we are live again at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That's good to know. I did not know about Pacific, that specific Pacific time. 5 p.m. Pacific or 8 o'clock Eastern. Be here. Hit the thumbs up and put your question in at the beginning. After the first hour, we listen and chat and see if he catches up. It's a game. Yeah, it's exactly what we always do. That's true. That is very true. Tell them to focus their efforts on the glass idea. That will be amusing. Hey, guys, I'm sorry I'm missing all these comments. They're really funny. Arizona had snow in the desert not that long ago. Absolutely, my friend. Yeah. And there was some problems in Arizona too. Was it Arizona or Nevada? I think Arizona. An oil leak? Am I wrong about that? Oh, sorry. It was an accident, chemical accident. The truck on the highway, that red freaking gas coming up from the truck. So we heard about that. The oil leak was in, I thought, Arizona. It could be Nevada. Thanks for coming by, George and everybody. Colton. Appreciate it, guys. Vikings were called Danes and didn't have horn helmets. That's right, Morton. They passed them off as savages, used to drag around their women by the hair. No, we all know that women don't let us do that. And who would want to? Right? As a matter of fact, Saved by the Bell. My granddaughter fed my 160-pound new feet leftover meatloaf. I thought we're going to have to move. My granddaughter fed my 160-pound new feet leftover meatloaf. I think we're going to have to move. Solarhead, how's it going? Hey to you guys. Some subtitles. You should have all the subtitles, Dan, right here on the channel. There should be Mexican subtitles. All the subtitles are activated since 2016 here, if there were subtitles. And it just seems that people from other countries cannot use the subtitles here. They don't work for whatever the reason. I have them activated in all languages: Chinese, Greek, Viking, all the languages possible. I pray that every one of us in pain and stress, allergy, traumas, fractures, and whatever being the reason for suffering, I pray we will all get relief and our health back. I'm going to leave that one up there. And Lise, I thank you very much for the amazing support you give this channel, for coming back time and time again. Thank you to all new subscribers, or you don't have to subscribe. Maybe you're just new watching the video, stopping by. I love you for it. I really appreciate that. I can't thank you enough. And to all the people that I missed, as for the comments, I think we did pretty good here with the comments. I really thank you all so much, guys. And Gates asked, why so many fake DRS giving out so much medical information? Like Jill Bydum Hunnery, Doctor Now Doctor. It's all a scam, eh? It's like a big ass scam, everything that's going on out there. Exactly. It's like, what can we do to block out the sun rays? Just, what they're going to do is apparently they're going to take a whole bunch of used and recycled glasses, drinking glasses. They're going to weld them all together because, they must be able to weld glass together. And they're going to fusion them together. And the bottom of those glasses are going to push back sunlight away from Earth. Isn't it so stupid? It would be a lot simpler building a big hand. Just, hey, what's that big hand out there? Well, that's the hand of God. It's blocking out sunlight, right? Yeah, right. So I'll be on tonight, guys. If they're offended by that joke, they can bite me. Don't worry. If people get offended by your jokes, Dan, they block your ass. The mods here are up to date on all that, and they don't feel offended themselves either. Somebody can come here and, fuck here, fuck that sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. When people disagree with my work, they're still allowed to stick around. Someone starts harassing the community or repeating themselves, well, they'll be blocked. The trolls don't have a lot of time here. So usually I lose 20 subscribers during the stream. Hey, we're down to 80 people watching. Okay, I'm getting off. We'll see what happens. Still looking. It's like a drug, You go, it's like I cannot not look at the comments. I'd like to be able to see them all. Darla, again, thanks for coming by. I hope you're feeling better. Ladies and gents, I will see you all tonight at 8 o'clock. Jeez. I spent 3 hours with you guys here, almost 3 hours. In 4 hours, I'll be back on. We'll try to talk some more. Like I said, Joel Burgess will be on the stream with us, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things, all of us together. Him and I will talk on screen, and then after that, I will go into the community and talk about some other things and answer all your comments, or we can answer some comments along with Joel at the same time. Thanks a lot, you guys, for being here. Hope to see you tonight at 8 o'clock. Please leave a thumbs up if you're interested in the work. Subscribe to the channel. It will help my channel grow. We are approaching to 97,000 subscribers. And honestly, guys, it's a milestone that I'm ever so grateful for. Thanks for all the generous contributions. And thanks to all you mods. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye for now. Love you guys.